Welcome to MD Global Muscle Radio, brought to you by High-Tech Pharmaceuticals. And now, please welcome your hosts, Giles Thomas and AJ.
And welcome back to MD Global Muscle Radio with me, your host, Giles Thomas, brought to you by High-Tech Pharmaceuticals here at the Pump Media Studios. And I'm joined once again by my co-host all the way from Norway, AJ. AJ, it's good to see you again, mate.
It's good to see you. I'm feeling... I'm pumped. It's nice to see you guys. I bought a since we're 7 days out from Christmas. Chris from Pump Media, we got you the hat, the elf hat from Norway.
Is that a reindeer?
I think it's for elves. It's for like let us see. Oh, you're on the camera now, Chris.
On camera. He's on camera.
He's on camera. There you go. There you go.
Feeling very Christmas.
You're feeling like it's supposed to be like a dwarf hat, but and since I couldn't get, I thought this was more fitting.
Oh yeah, it's tiny. That's tiny. I've got a really big head.
No, try it out.
Okay. I can't do it with a headphones.
Yeah, you have.
I'll have to show it and I'll have to put it on later for you.
You have to put on later. That's a Batman. I went to the kids store and I said, "Do we have a Batman hat for Giles?" And that's what we got.
Very kind.
But no, it's great being here. We're 7 days out from Christmas, aren't we?
Not for about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hang on, 17. No, yeah, 8 days.
It's Christmas time.
8 days.
I got my leather winter jacket on. I got matching shoes.
You still got the tag on, mate.
That's how you don't cut that out. No.
No, you said that's how they roll in America.
That's how they roll in America. No, but it's great being here. Huge success with Flex Lewis, Giles?
Yes, I was very, very happy with that. The feedback was, and I think I felt more, because obviously we're more relaxed, and like I said, Flex Lewis doesn't give those kinds of interviews. He's never, I've never seen an interview more than, I've seen him in documentaries where he's obviously talking openly, but we had Flex Lewis on for 2.25 hours. He was very generous with his time, and I really do appreciate him being so open. I felt like we could have just carried on, don't you?
Yeah, really. We got some feedback that we have to keep a little bit shorter.
Yes.
But Flex Lewis' interview was so great, and it was so telling. It was so many new stories that we didn't want to cut it short.
Yeah.
But now, so it's no disrespect to the new guys coming on, but it's just we have to keep a little bit shorter. Mm-hmm. So people want to get, so they won't, what was the reason they told us?
Just it's a 3.5 hour podcast might be a little bit too intimidating for new fans, because maybe it's like I've never really listened to a lot of podcasts, but the first one I did was 3 hours, so I kind of just had in my head. Originally we were just going to do like a 20-minute intro, and then I didn't know how long we'd have the guest for. So for the first 2 episodes with Phil Heath, 7-time Mr. Olympia, and obviously Flex Lewis, 7-time 212 champ, I just kind of went with it just to see, and then obviously we can iron out the creases as we go along.
Today we got, say it for me, Giles. Say it in his accent.
Well, I've got to bring up a very special picture. Now, you're going to have to explain, for the sake of the audio listeners on the SoundCloud, you're going to have to tell me exactly what you see on the screen there. I hope I get the right button here. So, can you explain exactly what you're looking at?
Chris, what are we looking at? We see somebody...
He can't hear anything. He's got his elf hat on.
We see somebody getting dwarfed.
Yeah.
Giles, what are we looking at?
You're looking at probably one of the greatest pose downs in bodybuilding history.
Wow.
It was a nail biter, this one.
It was close.
The guy is obviously so awesome on the right-hand side. He didn't even need to take his shirt off.
I think it's close. We'll say it's a tie.
Okay, do you want to explain who's in the picture?
How do you pronounce it? How do you pronounce his name?
ZKK. Come on, say it.
No, I can't even
say
it. Come on. Say it one more time.
Zack Khan.
Yeah, but how do you say this? ZKK?
ZKK.
But he says like CKK.
That's actually a very good impression.
Wasn't it good?
That's very good.
I'm really happy in Norway growing up. Well, not say growing up. He's not that old. When I was a little bit younger, 2010, normally we had usually Americans breaking through in Norway. It wasn't really so many Englishmen or other people, but cover of the Flex magazine. Well, we don't want to promote Flex.
It was a Hammer Curl, wasn't it? A Hammer Curl picture. Fantastic.
Neil Hill in the background.
Oh, was that on the cover?
I think so. When he did the leg press or whatever it was.
That was the article at. I've trained at that gym. That's Neil Hill's gym in Tenby. It literally is a dungeon, and the toilet is. You have to go under the steps outside if you want to go in the toilet and wee on the leaves. So I've trained at that gym. I've been lucky enough to train there. We
saw this huge, different, round, freaky, charismatic. Like he was from he's Pakistan originally, or
he's from where's it from? It'll come to me because this was actually for an article. This was actually in 2008. This was about October, November 2008, and at the time I was on the MD boards and I was pushing Zack because I'd known Zack 10 years by this point. I remember him when he was a junior.
So this picture. You already know him for 10 years.
I've known him for 10 years here.
How old was he here? How old? When is this from?
I don't know. I think he's about... I don't know. Well, he was a junior in 1998.
I can see some veins through your shirt there, though.
I think it's just very... Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Isn't that a vein?
That's a vein, yeah.
So it's not too bad.
Well, there's a bit of a story behind this picture because Zack had just placed 4th place at the British finals in the super heavyweights. He was the biggest thing by far.
The condition wasn't
there. And I remember because he'd had a series of because he'd started doing the British finals from 2000 and he was getting like second, second, coming back every single year. Second to Troy Brown, second to Paul Delahaye, third to Ricky Welling. So it was for so many years. There's a guy that nowadays would turn pro in the flick of a he would probably just turn up to the car park and they give him his pro card.
Definitely now.
But yes, and he took 4th place, and I was like, I remember ringing him, and he says, "Oh, I don't know what to do." He says, I keep coming back year after year after year. I don't know what to do, bro." And I said,
"You said the word bro."
Possibly it was 2008. Maybe he didn't. Maybe I made that up.
Okay.
So I said to Zack, Zack, there's 2 things you need. I said you need to get your condition, and you need to get a run of publicity. So at the time, obviously, Flex Lewis had turned pro in 2007, obviously with the coaching of Neil Hill. He's still with Neil Hill.
Yeah.
So I was obviously I've been good friends with Neil 24 years. So
Flex talked about this, remember, on our show?
Yeah. So I basically said, look, I know someone that can get you in condition. So I introduced him to Neil Hill. They hit it off. And I approached, it was Muscle Mag International, Robert Kennedy, and I said, look, there's this guy, and he goes, we like
That's where you shot that epic cover of Biggie Smalls.
Alvin Small. That was a year after. It was a similar time, because he just literally done the British finals, and I called him, and I said, look, we can get you in the magazine. I said, they're going to do a big feature on you. He says, Robert Kennedy said, look, if you can get Kevin Horton, that's the only photographer we really like to use in the UK, if you can convince him to do the shoot, we'll run the article and you can write the article. I was like, yeah. So I spoke to Kevin. Kevin's a good friend of mine. And it happened. So I spoke to Zack and he goes, oh no, I've been pigging out. I've been eating too much. I've been on the treadmill. I've been eating too much. And I said, well, get your ass back on the treadmill. Get back on some sort of diet. I says, you've got like a week till we do this photo shoot. So cut a long story short, went to his, this was an old gym he had. He's moved a couple of times since.
Such a powerful physique.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is but we should talk more about, since we're going to interview him.
Yep.
We'll get all the stories then, won't we?
Yep.
One thing the listeners might be disappointed, Giles. We have no girls in Speedos here.
Well, it is pretty chilly.
No, remember we made a promise that we're going to... So the thing that happened is we have to learn Instagram first.
Yes.
So it's supposed to be a contest. So we will fix this at a later date because we don't know how to do Instagram. What's your Instagram handle, by the way?
Giles_Tiger.
I'm AJ. I'd switch it to AJ Kelly Robert instead of that 6'8" thing, by the way.
Yeah, why'd you put that on there?
Somebody told me it was easier to find.
Oh, okay.
So now but we can talk about that the Instagram stories.
Yep.
There've been some big things.
Yeah.
I went to Romania Pro, remember?
I do remember, and I also remember dropping you off at the airport 3 hours early to make sure you got your flight. Why don't you tell us what happened?
This will be 7-8 minute recap of the Romania Pro before we go into the other bodybuilding events.
Yep.
First of all, before we go into the epic story, and this is the story, and this is not, maybe people think in episode 1 and episode 2 I'm making things up. Mm-hmm. But as you see on my jacket, something is going on. so I'm not making this up. I'm a Catholic, by the way. Mm-hmm. I swear to God, I'm not making this up.
Okay.
So, first of all, I want to thank the Wings of Strength crew, Tim Gardner, Eileen Gardner,
yep,
all the judges, all the people down there for giving me the press passes, for covering the event for MD, because they don't know me that well. I met Bob Chick in the Bros 2 Pros event in London, so we're cool with Bob, but I haven't met those other people before.
Yeah.
So they welcomed me with open arms. They gave me the backstage pass, the press pass. I ate dinner with the IFBB judges. So for the people who know me from the MD boards, just imagine, guys, you know my backstory. And now I'm sitting with all the judges.
The higher-ups.
I'm talking to J.M. Mannion.
J.M. Mannion, that's Jim Mannion's son, who's the NPC photographer.
Yes, the father of Tyler Mannion.
And do you know he's related to one of the guys out of Walking Dead? Did he tell you that story?
I don't watch Nerd Show, bro. Okay? I don't watch no Walking Dead. But by the way, I'm impressed. I actually started it's called Sammy Feeling, that music you played in the car.
That's Stone Sour. That's not Five Finger Death Punch. Because it came on it connected onto my phone.
I wasn't turning it off, was I?
You weren't turning it off. You were getting into it, man.
I wouldn't say getting into it, but I was...
You were. I've got a video. I've got video footage.
Okay.
I'll put the video footage in Moss Newsweek and I'll let people figure out.
So, thanks to them, and I'm starting now officially to be a female bodybuilder fan.
Okay, that's good.
I haven't seen too many of them in Norway before. We only have bikini, sadly, and a couple of figure girls.
Yeah,
Ellen Berg from Norway. She's a figure girl, IFBB Pro. She's got good potential. We see what happens there. But we don't have so many. So when you walk into an arena and you get impressed, you got to see him up close. And you're going to get impressed. So I'm impressed by the female bodybuilders now. Women's physique and what I call open female bodybuilding.
Yep.
That's what I call them. So the Wings of Strength crew are doing a great job of promoting these. I saw Linda Murray. Yep. I had cocktails with Linda Murray.
I love
her husband was there. So
Urel. Yeah, good guy.
Very good guy. Back to the story, Romania. So this is a quick recap. Chris, you're going to be... Okay, so you leave me off at the airport.
Yep. Plenty of time, by the way. Plenty of time.
I lost my phone, remember?
I do remember.
So I had no information of where my flight left from.
Yep.
All I knew was that it left around 3. So you drove me there at like 10:30.
Yeah, it was about
11.
Yeah, 11ish, 11. I thought plenty of time for you to catch your flight.
I walked to every single check-in point at Manchester City Airport. With my passport in hand. Nobody had my tickets. Nobody knew nothing. Nothing. I went all over. Nobody. They would start laughing at me at the end. So I was freaking out because remember, I was going to do my first ever muscle development contest coverage.
Yep.
Yeah. So to make the story short, I had to get a ticket to Russia. Then from Russia to Turkey.
Istanbul.
And then from Istanbul to some God knows where. I don't even know where it was.
Oh, you went somewhere else after Istanbul. I knew you went to Russia, then Turkey.
And then finally Romania.
It would actually probably be cheaper for you to get your own private plane. That week, if you'd have chartered your own plane or got a private helicopter, you probably would have spent less money.
And that Turkish airport was like hell on earth, bro. Ooh. No disrespect to Turkish people, but the airport was horrible. It was so big you couldn't even. Anyway, hot. It was just awful.
Okay.
And I couldn't fit in the toilet at the one plane, so I had to. I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
Anyway, so I get to Romania. I haven't slept in a day. I start mingling. I start winding up everybody to get the interviews. And I'm mingling well, Giles. I'm really I'm hyping, I'm talking, I represent MD.
I was getting messages off people saying they were like friends over there, like Samson Dowder. They says Donna Murphy. They were saying they'd met you, and they were like, "Yeah, AJ's a great guy." And I messaged Tim Gardner, and I said, "Look, if you see AJ, look after him. He's a good guy. He's
that's
one of us,
thing I hope the athletes will know, that even though I like to dress up, it's because I feel like an honor to be on. And when you feel honored, you gotta dress up. You gotta look good. You gotta be, because I like, this is for me, even though it's YouTube or a podcast, for me this is like the biggest thing I ever done in my life. And I've done a lot of crazy things.
I was up till, I think me and Rosie, my partner, stayed up till, I think was it 4 or 5 a.m. on the Saturday night. We went out for a meal. And then we stayed at home. We were watching kind of all the interviews going up, and I watched the one with Samson.
Where did you see them, by the way? Where can people see this?
This was on musculardevelopment.com on their MD YouTube. And
who sponsors this show again?
High Tech Pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. So and I was watching. I was looking at the feedback on the forums, on the Noble forums, on the MD website. And you did a good job, mate. Because I was
Thank you.
Your intro.
No sleep, by the way.
Oh, amazing. And it was good. It was good interviews. I like the one with Samson when he said, I'm disappointed, bro. And his face kind of dropped because you started the interview with it.
Did you see his posing routine?
I saw it. Amazing. Yeah. I reused it in Must News Weekly, but I had to change the music for copyright, and I was gutted. But even then, you could still see. Oh. He's actually doing Skype sessions now for posing, because
he should.
He was doing moves. I spotted flex wheeler moves, Sean Ray, 90s transitions, the twist around with the side tricep pose.
Yeah, he was doing them all.
Yeah, he was doing Kai Green moves. He was throwing everything in it, and it was all choreographed.
I'm walking in the hotel, bonding. I was at a hotel room I was picking out Chris. So the girls asked me to pick, since I had gold shoes on, they were impressed with my colors. So they want me to pick out their posing suits. So they invited me in the hotel room to give advice on what color looked good. So I was...
Tough job.
Tough job. Anyway, I wind them everybody up. Brad Rowe, everybody's in the building. I had...
Brad Rowe looked tiny next to you when he did the interview. It was so funny when I saw the video. But I was a really good interview, the Brad Rowe one as well.
For people who don't know, Brad Rowe had a surgery 14 weeks ago. Bicep.
Yep, bicep.
Competed 16 weeks later.
Amazing.
Got first call out.
Yep.
Got 5th place. Some people had them in 4th. I had them in 4th.
Good condition.
Ripped. Energy on stage, marketable look, athletic.
He looks healthy as well. Looks good, skin
fresh.
Good. He looks like a model in the face.
Good ambassador. Yeah. I call him you don't know who this is, but you familiar with a group called 98 Degrees?
Sort of,
so it's Nick Lachey. He's the bodybuilding version of Nick Lachey for the boy band fans out there. Anyway, on Friday, my cameraman's supposed to come. Here it comes. I've been up for 2 days now. I'm getting all the people to do interviews, line them up on Friday. Remember, I'm a new guy doing this. I'm not Peter McGuff or Ron Harris or Giles Thomas or Hector from MD Latino. I'm a newcomer.
Virgin.
But since I'm 6'5", everybody's in gold shoes. Everybody's looking at me. So when I ask them for the interviews, they get excited. I get excited. Everybody gets excited. So they're ready. I'm ready. I call my cameraman. He's supposed to be there at 1 o'clock on Friday. I call him, my cameraman. And when I call him, I say, "Are you downstairs?" He starts off with it in Norwegian. He said, "Baba, baba." That means when you've done something wrong, you say, "Baba, baba." That means calm down, calm down.
Okay.
So when somebody says calm down before you even get to the point, there's a big problem in the building.
Oh, dear.
He missed his flight.
Oh, no.
So I paid the guy, I bought the camera for this event.
It was like a 4K camera, wasn't it? It was quite expensive.
And I had to do some gay for pay to get...
Not again.
Anyway, I had to do some... Anyway, I had to go into my last savings to get the camera because I wanted for my debut for MD. I went into my last savings because I spent my other half on this jacket. So I had to get my last savings on this camera because I don't know how to press record on and off.
Yeah.
Because this is not my thing.
That's nerd stuff.
I wish I could know how to do it. We will learn, Giles.
Yep.
We have to.
You're a fast learner, though. I've seen how you're on your Instagram. And
Thank you.
It's good. It's good. You're growing fast.
So he's not there. I paid the camera. I paid for my guy. He missed his flight. And he's supposed to be a professional cameraman, and he misses his flight.
What was his reason for missing the flight, though?
So when you go to the airport, you get on your phone which says, you going to check in an hour. Bling, on your phone.
Yeah.
So he thought that was checking in.
Right.
So he just sat at the gate at the airport waiting because he thought he checked in via the SMS. And he's supposed to be a professional cameraman doing all this around the globe.
Yep.
Anyway, he misses his flight. I said, why haven't you taken a new flight? Because his flight left 6 in the morning. Now it's 1 o'clock in the day. That's 7 hours to do something. You know what was his answer?
I don't know.
I had to wait to get a hold of you to say what you want to do. So he should just leave. And this guy's 34 years old. He's not a kid.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was freaking out. Then I have to go mingle the whole Friday to try to get some footage of the press passes, of the Bolnack and press meeting and everything, because this was on a Friday. Okay, so I found finally JBL Films.
Yeah, JLB Films, is it? On the
Yes, it's very important to get this correct. JB Films.
I'm sure it's JLB.
Female bodybuilding. He loves female bodybuilding.
Yep.
I told him, bro, I'll fix you press passes. I'll get you backstage with the muscle ladies, and you film. But it's important you film the guys too.
Yeah.
Do not only film the girls. He said, yes. First thing he does is start filming only the girls. I had to slap him, tell him.
You slapped him.
Hello. You cannot film only the girls.
Yeah.
Anyway, a friendly slap, not like a... Yeah. Okay. So we started filming. It was working okay. It was going well. We were filming the athlete meeting and getting all the pictures. I was uploading. This is my second day. Fast forward to day 3. My cameraman comes in with my camera. I meet him. Then I haven't slept for 3 days.
Oh, God.
I meet him in the lobby, 7 in the morning. I was like, okay, let's go straight to have a breakfast, go to the Wings of Strength Expo to the event and start filming. It was the amateur class. This was on Saturday. The amateur was on Saturday and the finals was on the Sunday. When we come into the arena, I tell him, just stand here, film the event. I'll go and mingle. What do you think happened, Giles?
I don't know, because you've not actually told me this bit.
You know, Chris.
Come on, I want to hear about this, because
When I go back from the mingling, this is for bodybuilding fans. They will know how bad this is. A regular fan won't know how bad this is, but a bodybuilding fan will know. As I come back, because it was men's physique going on, so I told him, just go and film men's physique first. Just film it, and we edit what looks good later. He says, yes, no problem. As I come back, and I look, being up 3 days straight almost, completely in a fog. First day ever, press passes, everything. I look to my left, and I see him, he's fighting with J.M. Mannion.
Oh, my God.
That's the first thing I see. I look to the left.
Oh, no. Do you know what? I actually...
And my cameraman...
I got AJ. Someone actually said this, and I just assumed it was a joke. So this actually happened with J.M. Mannion. Oh, I like J.M. as well.
It wasn't like a Mike Tyson fight, but
yeah.
I saw they were pushing each other.
Oh, no.
And for people who don't know, this is the lead how do you say it?
Photographer.
For MPC Online.
Yep.
He's the son of the president, Mr. Jim Mannion.
Pro League. MPC.
Very important man. Also very kind and good man, but very important man.
Yeah.
And at the time, I've only met him once in the hotel lobby. We had a good connection, but it was only like a 2-minute.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? You see your cameraman. Not only did he was 1 day late after getting paid to come on the trip. I missed all my interviews on Friday. And you see him. Bro.
So what happened?
I walk over to him. I grab him. I take him to my side. Jay Mannion says, "Come, AJ, come here. I was like, oh no. I walk to JM to Mannion.
Yeah.
He says, AJ, it's because I like you. You're like
that reflected badly on you, obviously. But he saw. Carry on.
I went to my cameraman, took my camera, took him into the toilet. What happened in the toilet, we will leave for another day. But it was not good. I went and apologized to Mannion.
Yeah.
He understood it wasn't my fault. Mm-hmm. He gave me a second chance. So people who think Mannion, or like some people, we don't want to say the name, but like, what can I say? That they don't have no, we don't even want to say, like, they're really good. At least, I don't know Jim Mannion, but J.M. Mannion at least. Can you imagine some photographer troll is arguing with him, and he's the lead so he gave me a second. So, that was that. And I've been up for 3 days. I paid my dream, and everything could fail because of my cameraman. I had to kick my cameraman out of Romania.
Okay.
So I took him to the hotel, checked his bags out, threw away the key, told him, I don't want to see you in the hotel. Arrivederci. Goodbye.
Yep.
So my cameraman had to leave Romania. I threw him out of Romania. Jim Mannion didn't tell me. J.M. Mann didn't tell me to do this. But obviously I had to do it.
Yeah. This has been longer than 7 minutes, by the way.
Oh, this has been longer than 7
Yeah.
minutes.
So we've got a lot to get through, AJ.
That was the start of my Romania.
Okay.
That was the start of the event.
I feel like we could talk a whole episode.
Yeah,
on
we should go on. Quick recap. Max, we can talk about later on another event. We can talk about it on your Muscle and Weekly.
I have
show.
last week.
You have?
Yes.
Okay. Max Charles.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yeah, he was sick as well, wasn't he?
He had it in his bag. I was up close. I lost my voice. I was screaming. He was just phenomenal. It wasn't like it was a beatdown with Clarence Davis.
The thing is with Max Charles, it's been a bit of a poor year for him. It was, he was nearly last at the Arnold Classic. He was getting a lot of heat for saying that people were putting stuff in his shoulders and his arms, and then he's just carried on. He's been prepping all year, and what a nice way to finish off the year with a win, early qualification, and also Clarence DeVee in second had won the Italian Pro Show. I was speaking to Clarence a few days ago, and sent me a little update. And so he's really, because for many years Clarence DeVee didn't really nail his condition as a pro. He did as an amateur when he won the Belgian Pro Cup around 2008.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, long time ago. So
long
really,
time ago.
As a pro, he was not nailing it. I mean, I think he was 5th or 6th at San Marino last year. And that was a good lineup. But I mean, he certainly wasn't knocking on the door of a qualification anyway.
No.
So for Clarence and Max to both win shows and qualify, I was thrilled.
And Max, he might look intimidating because he has a strong, demeanor.
He's got a Cedric McMillan scowl.
Yeah, but he looks a little bit more G than Cedric. You know what I mean? Max got that.
Yeah. Well, I interviewed Max at Tampa 2017, and he's a very quiet talker. So, actually, I was interviewing him. I think I said this in the last episode, and I had to kind of nod because I literally couldn't hear what he was saying. So I had to wait till he finished talking and then deliver my next question. And I'm sure he was just giving me a great interview, which it was. I watched it back, but I couldn't literally hear him. So it was very difficult to interview. Very quietly spoken guy. So
this show is a little bit later, so everybody can go on muscledevelopment.com and they can check all the wrap up. But I got something I'm very impressed, Giles, because I've seen it. Your new column.
You've seen my new column and you're impressed by it.
Well, I read it. You showed me the draft in the MD, the Global Muscle
Yes.
Bus.
Yes.
4 pages.
4 pages. Well, I was a bit of a diva about this, and I said, look, because we were negotiating doing a new column, because I had a column called the Euro Muscle Scene from 2010 to 2014, but they would only ever give me 2 pages, and I always wanted more. So when we discussed about coming back and doing this podcast and this, the radio show, I said, no, I don't want 2 pages. If I come back, I want 4, and I want it to be global, not European. So they agreed. And I actually...
Because you got all the contacts.
Yeah.
You do. I've seen it.
Because of my Muscle News Weekly show, I'm in constant contact with the pros. Things like this, Instagram. I'm constantly, every day, I'm literally talking on WhatsApp and to different people, getting them to keep me updated. So with the column, I forgot what I was talking about there.
The column in the MD, you wanted the global?
Yes, sorry, sorry. Sorry, my blood sugar's a bit high. I just had a shot of insulin.
You're excited, as we should be.
Yes. So, I put aside 3 days to do this column, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Sat down, and I did it in 3 hours, sent it off. The word count was right. So I came back, tidied it up, made sure the quotes were perfect, and submitted it. And they said they were really happy with it. They sent me a really nice email. The editor sent me a really nice email back. And because sometimes when you've been out of the actual writings thing for a while, you do kind of lose a little bit of confidence maybe in your ability to be able to.
What I read, it was great.
Well, thank you. Very gracious of you.
It'll be out February.
It's the February edition, but it'll be out in January.
Who's going to be on the cover? Do you know?
I don't know. I'm not sure they've decided yet, actually.
Who would you like?
You've got the latest issue there.
Who would you like to be on the cover? Who would you put on the cover who hasn't been on the cover?
That's a very good question.
Well, he might be on the cover, but who would you like to see now on the cover? Who's trending in your mind? I know a person.
Are you thinking more 212 or open?
We gotta go. That's up to you.
Either Hadi Chupin or Nicolas Vuillard. I think those two are more than worthy of a cover.
Who? Say it again.
Hadi Chupin from Iran. Is it
Iran.
Iran.
It's such a shame he can't compete in America.
I know. It is. I know.
We want to see him next to the,
I'm going to give a spoiler here.
Oh.
In my column.
Yeah.
I reveal that I would think it was a little snippet right at the end, a little, this is what I think. Tiger's Take, I called it.
Yeah.
And I said that Hadi, I think, if he can't get to the Olympia in the 212, he can't get to the Olympia to compete, he should just go and do open shows. Because I saw him compete as an open at the San Marino last year, nearly beat Cedric McMillan. He beat Brandon Curry.
Now, that won't happen again.
Yeah. I'm like you. I'm a big Brandon Curry fan, especially what he's bringing now and especially what he's bringing. We'll talk about that next. Talk about it next. It's on the list. I've seen him as an open, and I was... as a 212, he's fantastic. But for me, as an open at round, I'm assuming maybe he's around 220. He is incredible. He goes from freak to super freak, and he's so thick and detailed. And he's honestly, as an open, it will blow your socks off. He's like Mohammed Benaziza from the early 90s.
But he has to compete in Arnold Classic Ohio or the Mr. Olympia.
He can't, though. He can't do it. He can't. If he can't get the visa, he can't. I don't think he can get to Japan, could he? He couldn't even. I didn't even know you needed a visa for Japan. It's a shame. It's a real shame.
And we don't want to. A lot of people speculate on the reason. I don't think we should do, because when we don't know, we don't know the reason. You don't know the reason, do you?
No.
So I don't want to speculate. I just hope it sorts out.
I know. I really do. Because he is a spectacular athlete. And I think he's a threat for the 212 Olympia title. He's certainly a top 10 Olympia threat. As an open, I'm telling you, he would be top 10.
Okay. I would like to see Brandon Curry on the cover.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Brandon, top 5 first this Olympia.
Yeah.
Phil Heath is not doing 2019.
No, he's told us both that, hasn't he?
Brandon Curry, if you saw the last with the call out, with Phil Heath, it was Phil Heath, Bonac, Rowley, and Sean Roden.
Don't forget Sean Roden.
And Curry.
Yeah, and Curry.
Curry was the biggest guy.
Yes, he's the fullest, the roundest, the biggest. His muscularity, it's like I said this, I think, in the last episode. When I saw those pictures of him guest posing, he was outside. It was an outside guest posing. I was like, oh, he looks so good there. But he's just going to lose just that little bit of fullness when he gets to the actual the competition stage. And he didn't. He came out and he was just, I mean, it must be hard going to Q8 and doing that. So I'm really full respect to Brandon. But just why don't you tell me what you said in the restaurant earlier about Brandon?
What did I say? I don't remember.
You said you think he could be the next Mr. Olympia or potentially win the Olympia. Do you want to?
Because I see it's Roden, Curry, Bonac, Rowley, and Ramy. For me, yes, Who else is Giles there? Is a little bit of a Ramy. I think he can do it.
Well, he's now training with. He's now being prepped by Neil Hill.
That you know very well.
Yes, I know very well, and I actually put that in my column as well. Thing is, right now, Ramy doesn't even know where he's going to be living. He has just started prepping and training and eating. His diet's been taken care of by Neil Hill. But at the moment, I don't think he even knows where he wants to live. So he needs to really... Because I would love to see Ramy at the Arnold.
You saw him on Saturday night? Come on, man.
Do you know what?
He was killing the second lineup.
AJ, I've been going to shows for 25, 26 years. I've never seen anyone... I'm trying to think. I've never seen anyone transform... I mean, literally, it was clear he wasn't top 6 on the Friday. On the Saturday, I think he probably would have moved up to 4th. I don't think he'd have beaten Rowley. But it was kind of too late for him, and it was such a shame because he looked absolutely magnificent on the Saturday.
So why are you saying then that he can't win it?
I don't know. I think he needs some readjustments with his physique. I think when you see him up there and you see him next to the other guys, it's the guys with the superior shapes. Like, I think Rowley's got a superior shape, superior muscle quality tie-ins.
The more we see the replays from the Olympia, if people watch them, the more Rowley is looking better and better and better, man. The routine when he comes, the still is just... and remember, he had a waist issue in the beginning?
Yeah.
And it's not even...
He fixed it in 2016. I saw him at the Body Power Pro and he walked out and I was taking pictures and people were saying the pictures off my phone were photoshopped because his waist looked so small.
Do you believe in that waist trim thing?
Well, it worked. It worked. He wears a waist trainer and he does a lot of... I mean, what he did... For that waist was absolutely phenomenal. I remember when he competed in 2013 at the Finland Pro, and I remember almost like crying when I saw he won it. But I remember looking at the pictures, going, "Oh my god, what have they done to him?" He put like 30 pounds on it. His physique just.
He beat Baito, wasn't it?
That was 2013. Yeah, because Baito won it the year before. I was at that one.
Rest in peace, by the way.
Yeah, Baito. Yeah, he's. I know Dennis James still posts about him quite regularly because he was his prep coach, and they're very. They
had a good relationship. Dennis James is he knows he's very international, Dennis James.
Yes.
He speaks German, American.
Yeah. He just had a show, didn't he, was it Germany? Germany, the Dennis James Classic.
He did.
Yeah, but it was a pro qualifier, which a guy called Adolf Bertman, I believe, got his pro card.
Yes,
he was a good physique.
Good physique.
Yeah, really good physique.
The other guy I would have on the cover is somebody you know very well. That if MD would ever smart, they would put him now because he's peaking right now at Netflix. That would be Ronnie Coleman.
Ronnie, yeah.
Because now he's on Netflix. There's a lot of mainstream... A lot of people I know who's not into bodybuilding that much. They say, "Hey, AJ, have you seen the Ronnie Coleman on Netflix?" I say, "Yeah." They're like, "Wow, what a warrior. What a guy. What a man." So if you put him on the cover now with the Netflix, and you see he's looking better now, the recent pictures.
Yes, I posted it on Instagram and I tagged Ronnie in on Tuesday. It was a picture because it was the Dubai.
With Jay Cutler and Kai Green.
Everyone was over there. Yeah, it was everyone. A couple of friends were sending me pictures. Simon Fan was sending me pictures of him with Ronnie, and I believe Simon Fan is a friend of mine. He's going to do a tour with Kevin Navrone in the UK next year, which he wants me to help him with. And I says, "Yeah, sure."
Leroni.
Yeah, Leroni, my hero.
He's your hero,
my hero. He's like Bieki for you.
We'll talk about Bieki with our next guest. Because that's another issue. What's going on, man? Why is he not? Anyway, let's get off him.
We'll talk about that next episode.
Leroni, impressive with Leroni is that he's
hustling, man.
What's his comeback for you? I'm gonna put you are a Leroni super fan. I was more of a Flex Wheeler fan. I was Ronnie Coleman was mine, but Sean Ray, Flex Wheeler, and Leroni, for me, those three are at the same level. And out of those three, I was more into Flex Wheeler.
Okay.
Because I just thought his shape was just God.
For me, I just think if you take the 1993 Arnold Classic version of Flex Wheeler,
when he was lighter and
218 pounds.
That's too small.
Or he would have been classic. Would he have been classic? I think he probably would have. No, I think he'd have been maybe a bit heavy for classic at 2.8. What is he, 5'9"?
So you didn't like him when he was super big and round?
No, it was all. I felt like he lost detail. But the 1998 Arnold Classic, Google those pictures, have a look. They will blow your mind. Oh my God! That was the best version of Flex Wheeler we ever saw. He was probably about 230-ish, maybe close to 240, with the same beautiful lines.
When he had the speech at,
I was there.
When he came back with the classic, one kidney, 52, 53.
Yes, yeah. I was,
and the way, because as a bodybuilding fan, we are. It's a new era. It's a lot of men's physique. There's a lot of bikini. There's a lot of other divisions that we learn to accept. Mm-hmm. We learn to like some of it, don't we?
Yep,
I do. Mm-hmm. At least some.
I was at the Olympia and I was actually really getting into the men's physique, the bikini, and when you
I'm representing Jeremy Buendia, by the way.
Buendia, yeah, Buendia. Yeah, he took 4th place. He's retired now as he's a competitor.
But he's in the Philippines doing great work.
Yeah, you said. Yeah.
He's doing charity work. Mm-hmm. So people out there dissing Jeremy, he's this, he's that, he's doing more than a lot of other bodybuilders are doing for the youth, for the kids.
That's a very good point.
You know, and so back to Flex Wheeler.
Hang on, maybe we should get Buendia on as a guest. Maybe we should approach him and ask him. I think he would be a very good guest to have on
I think
our
so
show.
too.
Yeah, because he's the best of a very popular division. So that's going to be something that a lot of people want to see.
Because if we a lot of people, men's physique is here to stay.
Yeah.
So it's better to accept it, learn it, and deal with it and promote the guys.
Yeah, you're right.
Than to just, and I know it's hard for a lot of people, and especially I was born with looking at Nasser El Sombati and Jay Cutler, and all of a sudden we got these guys in board shorts getting all the spotlight.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and we should accept it, and we should move on. And
I agree.
Don't you agree?
I agree. Anyway, back to Levrone.
Back to Flex Wheeler.
Levrone, you asked about Levrone's comeback.
How do you think, was it a successful for you as a fan? You're a Levrone fan. What did you feel when you saw him walked out when you saw him walked out? What was your first what did you feel inside?
I felt very, very, I mean, I actually saw
what did you feel?
I felt happy because it was what I expected.
Okay.
I didn't expect him to go in and be first call out. I didn't expect him to be. I mean, the guy had he ripped his pec. He had knee problems, but he didn't whine about it on social media.
No, he didn't.
He just got out and thing is, a lot of people talk about doing comebacks,
and they don't.
But he did it, and he went to the Olympia, and it was for me. It created such a buzz about that Olympia. It was probably one of the best things because I remember bumping into him on the floor of the hotel, and I went, Kevin, and I went and he had like a little entourage around him, and he came over and he gave me a big hug, and I was like, oh, Kevin, because you know what? I'll say this now. I don't think I've mentioned this in this podcast yet, but if it wasn't for Kevin Levrone, I might not be sat here right now.
Wow.
I was 18 years old. This was the 1994 British Grand Prix, and I was there the day after in my stripy baggies, my padded shirt, big fat head. From all the protein milkshakes.
Milkshakes.
Bananas and raw eggs and full fat milk. And I had this photograph I'd printed at Photography College of Dorian Yates. I took it at a seminar early 1994 in Devon. And this place was sold out. It was amazing. Dorian Yates at 290. And I took all these photos, black and white photos of him. So I had them there, and I was there as a mega fan. I'm hanging out at the hotel. And I'm like, me and my friend just sit with Kevin Levrone. And I'm showing my picture, and he goes, hey, man. And we're chatting for a while, and so he calls Peter McGough over, and he says, hey, Peter, he says, this guy, he should have your job, man. He really knows his stuff. He was joking, obviously. I mean, full respect to Peter McGough. I was like some enthusiastic fan. I mean, some things never change. But, yeah, and he said, man, you know what? He says, you've got passion. He says, you should be writing for magazines. You should be photographing for magazines. I went, really? You think I could do that? And he says, man, you could do that. And we went shopping in town, went to a vegetarian restaurant,
What?
I know, he went to a vegetarian restaurant.
Why would you do that?
And I insisted upon buying it. And he ate this like sort of pastry thing. And I said, won't that affect your condition? And he just pulled his sleeve up and he just did like that. And all his forearms were just like big veins everywhere. And
got you excited.
And we went shopping to this like, and he was trying to buy this big Italian sculpture thing or something. But I'll even remember the name of the sculptor, Giuseppe Armani.
Ooh. That sounds very...
And I think he turned it down because it would have cost just as much to ship it as it cost to buy it.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, after that, I went home, and within 6 months, I was 19 years old. I started writing for bodybuilder magazines. I started photographing.
So without Lironi, you wouldn't...
He was the catalyst. He was the one. He was the spark that lit the fire. That's a Star Wars reference, by the way.
His best overall look was for you when?
I'm so glad you asked that. I actually wrote that down, but did you see it? Did you read that?
I know you better.
You've read it, haven't you?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, well, I'll tell you what it was. I saw Kevin at Olympia's, every single British Grand Prix he did, and the most incredible version of Kevin Navrone I've ever seen was the 1997 British Grand Prix. I was shooting and reporting for Muscle Mag, and I went backstage, and I was there with my camera. There was Vince Taylor, Jean-Pierre Fuchs, NASA, Charles Claremont, Lee Priest, Aaron Baker, Sean Davis.
Baker was great, yeah.
Anyway, so I went up this corridor. They were all in one big area. And Chris Cormier was doing chin-ups on some scaffolding. And I remember just seeing his back being like...
Cormier,
yeah.
How many times he got second on a classic? 4 times?
I think it was 4 times, yeah. He was fantastic. And to be honest, it wasn't till that year that I became a fan of Chris Cormier, 1997, because that was the year he leveled up. His physique just transformed. So anyway, I went up this corridor and there was like these dressing rooms. And in one was the British pro Sean Davis. I bumped into Vince Taylor, had his Cybergenics cap on. Oh. And he was just pumping up in the...
Vince Taylor?
Yeah, pumping up. And he was just in front of in the mirror, just like this long mirror. And it was quite dark. And he was just kind of posing. And
is Wayne DeMille alive, by the way?
Wayne DeMille is alive, yeah.
Okay. He messed with Vince Taylor a lot. We talk about that another time.
We'll talk about that another time. Anyway, so I went into this other, the end dressing room. And Kevin was there. And somebody was on the floor, like tanning and oiling his legs or whatever. And I could see his physique in the mirror, and I just went, "Whoa!" And I went, "Can I just grab some photo?" And he says, like, because he always says "baby." He says, "Yeah, do it later, baby." Like, yeah, look, and I was like, and I came out right, and everyone, because I came down the steps from the front of the stage into the audience, and everyone went, and I just had this shocked look on my face, and they went, because obviously I'd been backstage, I'd seen all the pros, and I said. Game over, guys. Game over. I said, who? What? NASA? Because NASA just took second at Olympia. No. Kevin. So 1990, he posed to Breathe by The Prodigy.
Oh. That's a hard song to pose to, huh?
Oh, honestly, he's never... That was probably... If you like the really mega-sized Kevin Navrone, the big, shredded, shaved head, I mean, that was probably his all-time biggest. If you prefer like the 2000, the more streamlined aesthetic... look, then maybe that look for you, that look of Kevin Navrone is for you. But for that one, that was, I remember actually Wayne DeMille came out.
Have you asked him what he thinks?
Well, no, but Wayne DeMille came out on the stage before and he did like a little talk to the crowd and he said that Kevin looked better on the second day at the Olympia, and if he'd have looked like that on the first day, maybe he'd have won. And I'm telling you what, if he'd have looked like that at the Olympia...
he would have beat Dorian.
Hands down.
That also means how good was the English Claire? I met him at the show.
Charles Claremont.
He beat Wheeler and Lironi, didn't he?
1993. I was there at that one as well.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures you have. That just shows how good he was. Because he's a little bit... people don't talk about him too much.
Small joints, classic, amazing arms. Anyway, I think we need to go
viewer question.
We need to go to our viewer question, and then I think we're going to wrap up.
Yeah, because we got ZKK.
So we will be back. So I'm going to read this question at AJ, and I'm going to go to you for your opinion. So, question. If Kai Green decides to do the 2019 Olympia, it is obvious that it would boost ticket sales as well as increasing the number of watchers using the live stream services. In your opinion, would Kai ever come back on the Olympia stage? And if yes, would you like to see Phil versus Kai, again, even by going with Phil's latest statement, not being too sure if 2019 would be the year to come back after recovering? So... if Phil comes back next year...
I'm an insider now, bro. Kai's not coming back. Yeah. It doesn't matter what. We can speculate, we can hoopla, I would love to see Kai Green, Phil Heath, Flex Lewis, Rolly Winkler, Sean Roldan. Let's get it on.
Yeah. Do you what's the?
It's not going to happen. So it's.
I do not see Kai coming back. I
No.
just don't. It's not. To be honest, it's not even entered into my head.
It was when I saw him with Don Solomon 3 months ago. He did a. But as we know with Kai, there is a lot of things. He's very good with social media.
Yep.
Mr. Aaron Singerman with Redcon, is it? He does a great.
Yeah.
He does a great job. Aaron Singerman does a great job with promoting.
Yep.
Aaron Singerman is he's got vision.
Yeah,
that's for sure. And he's driven.
Think about where he was 2 years, 3 years, 4 years ago. And
it's not 2 years ago. It's more like 7 years ago now. Because he's been doing well with PJ. Remember that?
Blackstone.
That was doing well. That's 4 years ago.
Well, I used to be friends. I mean, I kind of lost contact with Aaron around 2014.
Okay.
We used to speak regularly. And I don't know why. Maybe I've just got busy and, we kind of go off in our own separate directions.
So, as we know,
we used to hang out together, actually.
They're great at social media.
Yeah.
So they know when to do what. But Kai's not competing anymore. I thought so, but he's making very good money what he's doing. He's traveling the world. He's living the lifestyle. He's huge. He's big.
I just wonder what there is to the motivation to stay that big without having a contest to train for.
You sell more products. It's his lifestyle. It's
just because he's got a lot of size. He's not even downsized slightly. He looks 4 or 5 weeks out from a show all year round, and I think that's.
But you
can't tune into that.
You worked as a prep coach, haven't you?
No.
You have experience with athletes on a higher level.
Not really, no, but I've competed myself and I've prepped myself.
Kai Green turned pro natural.
No, yeah.
Can it be all his muscle is just like it's his to stay and they're not going off but
it's not like he's even lost 20% of it. He's as big as he was when he was competing.
It's not as big. There is some difference.
Really?
You remember they're great at taking pictures, huh?
Yeah. Do you think they rehash pictures or?
I don't know, but I think he's a little bit. There's some difference there, but
yeah.
He maybe he's just, Kai Green is a real bodybuilder, huh? Trains hard. He eats. Yeah, he's dedicated.
Fair play to him.
Maybe he just loves it.
Do you know what I'd like to see? Maybe the 2020 Arnold. Phil versus Kai. I don't know. I just don't see it happening.
I just think the bodybuilding world out there should really focus on the guys who's competing.
Yes.
I think we will all love Kai Green to come back. Even if you're a fan of him or not,
Yep.
the sport would grow.
Yep.
Ticket sales will go through the roof.
Yep.
Fans will fill out the New Orleans arena.
Yep.
People will go crazy in the streets. Everybody wants to see it, but Roden is here, Winkler is here, Curry is here. We should focus on these guys.
I think next year it's going to be Roden versus Winkler. And I would love, it's not going to happen next year, but I would love to see Flex Lewis at 226 to 230 stood next to Ramy. Both of Neil Hill's guys. How cool would that be?
I'm not a super.
Drop the mic.
I'm not a super 212. I'm a 212.
Well, he won't be 212 when he comes back.
No, I'm just saying that what I'm going to say is I was always the open class guy.
Yeah.
After our interview with Flex, the passion, the dedication I saw in that interview, that through his when you taught the backstory of how smart he is, the business,
12
and the
years
planning.
old. 12 years old, he had entrepreneurial skills.
If you asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have said no chance in hell that he would ever. But after seeing his mindset, he can do anything.
Yeah, very smart guy.
So we'll see. Everybody will be rooting for him.
Okay. Well, AJ, I think we better wrap up now because we need to get some food. Cut to a break.
You gotta have 2 shout outs before we got. Who are you gonna shout out before we cut to the break?
I've not even thought about it.
You gotta give 2 quick shout. Who athletes you want to give a shout out to? 2 quick.
I can't think.
Come on, man. Do it 2 quick.
I can't think. Honestly, you put me on the spot.
I want to give a shout out to Samson Dauda.
Samson Dowdy, yeah.
I really like him. And I want to give a shout out to Donna Murphy again for obvious reasons.
She knows.
What's your give 2 shout outs? Give me 2 shout-outs.
Sasson Harati, who I believe is going to be one of the breakthrough athletes of 2019, British Pro. He's been sending me some pictures this week. He's always watch out for the quiet guys. It's like Chris, the ninjas, you know.
He took off his elf hat.
Oh, he took off his elf hat. Oh,
Well. And the other one is...
It is bloody hot in here.
And the other one is...
Oh God, I'll come back to you on the ZKK part.
This is not okay. So you don't have one. You don't have one. Quit. Then we're gonna give one.
My mind's gone blank. I need food.
Then we're gonna give a shout out to.
Who? Come on. Think of someone. Come on.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Bikini. Lori Chapados.
Okay.
Runner up Miss Olympia 2018. She's gonna win next year. Lori Chapados. You heard it here first.
Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, right. Well, we're gonna get some food. We're gonna cut to a break now, and we will be back. Part 2 with Zack. Hang on, get the picture back up again.
High Tech Pharmaceuticals.
Zack,
shout out.
Yeah. Big shout out to High Tech Pharmaceuticals for sponsoring and supporting this show. So we'll see you later for part 2.
And we out.
We are out of here.
We out.
MD Global Muscle Radio is brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. Now, back to the show.
And welcome back to Global Muscle Radio. I'm Giles Thomas, the host, and with AJ here. And we are joined by a very good friend of mine of 20 years.
That long.
Zack King Khan, a.k.a. ZKK. Zack, thank you for joining us, mate. Good to see you.
It's an honor, mate. It's an honor.
Yeah, so this is the first time you and AJ have met across the screen.
In Norway, you were really popular. Remember, you still are, but back 8 years ago, 7 years ago, you even in Norway, we were like.
Oh, nice one.
And in Norway is the biggest Pakistani from Pakistan immigrants in Europe.
So I never knew.
All the Pakistani immigrants, Pakistanis immigrants, he was like the role model, because he's the only bodybuilder in Europe from Pakistan that's huge. So you have a big following in Norway, by the way.
For a second, Giles, I thought this was David Hayes. You know?
David, you would.
That's a compliment.
AJ was talking to David Hayes, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Is it yesterday or today or?
Yesterday.
Yeah, he was talking to David Hayes. I think maybe David Hayes saw it and thought, who's this? Is this me?
Because I made an Instagram for the first time ever last week because I had to be a modern guy.
Yeah.
And I seen your Instagram, by the way.
Okay.
So did I. It's good. It's not your typical Instagram, is it?
I like the Bruce Jenner, but we'll talk about this later. Yeah.
I bet when AJ joined Instagram, he was sitting down, David Hayes messaged him saying, "What the fuck you doing, bro? You're nicking all my girls."
Well, I wish.
Yeah, he's like the Oslo version.
Yeah.
So Zach, you and I have known each other since 1998. The first time I saw you was when you were competing at the Mansfield as a junior.
No, I saw you before then. You got bad memory.
No, it wasn't. When do you think it was?
Yeah, I met you in Plymouth.
Plymouth?
And you were filming Stuart Cole.
Stuart Cole? I've never filmed Stuart Cole. You got me mixed up with somebody else handsome.
No, you was filming Stuart Cole for the Muscle Mania. That guy,
Lou Zwick.
Yeah, Lou Zwick.
Yeah, but Zach, that was in 1999.
Was it?
Yeah, it was like, don't. I'm bodybuilding's Rain Man, okay?
All right, okay.
It was 1998, EFBB Mansfield. You did the juniors, and you just done the ANB Yorkshire.
Yes.
And I believe you'd won the novice, and then you went and did the juniors, and they would be believed you were natural, but you were, weren't you?
Yeah. Basically, as you get into bodybuilding, I thought, you go down the natural route because obviously I wasn't natural, and I competed in a natural show, and I won the Mr. England in A and B, and from there, there's a lot of people talking saying, "Oh, you can't be natural" and stuff like this.
Yeah.
So they used to come to my house randomly and drug test me.
But your arms were like 20 inches even then.
How much did he weigh? How much did he weigh at that time?
But it's just.
I think I don't know if the conversion rate you got right there, that I was 14 stone.
That's
so
£200, £200.
200 pounds. Okay.
Yeah. So, it wasn't overly, crazy, but I just had the muscle bellies at that age. So it was like, I had the arms always anyway. So I was gifted with that. It was a single life, man. It was a single life.
And I think, and now I'm gonna put this out there. The first time I really felt like me and Zach were kind of friends was in 2006, and he hugged me in some toilets.
Oh, in the toilet.
He did. I was at the I think it might have been the Mansfield show again, and I was going to go for a piss, and I turned around and Zach was there. And he went, "Hey, bro," and he just gives me a hug and like picks me up, and and that was it. I was like, I've just met Zack Khan in the toilet. He's just hugged me. So just want to put that's when I felt like the friendship was.
You were bonding.
We were bonding in the toilet.
Yeah, bonding in the Mills restroom.
Like George Michael and with the
yeah. Okay, now the picture I used before to introduce you, because we do an intro before this, Zach, was the picture from that Kevin Horton shoot at your old gym in 2008.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, of course. I do remember that. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, Kevin is the best.
It was because I remember I reached out to Robert Ken. I was reaching out to all the magazines. I was reaching out to MD and Flex. I said, look, there's this guy. I said, as soon as he dials it in, he's going to be dangerous. And then I went out to Muscle Mag, and then they said, yes, if you can get Kevin Horton to do the shots, because you just took 4th place at the British, hadn't you?
Yeah, that year I took the 4th, yeah.
You were, you just absolutely, and that was in the days when the super heavyweights were gigantic. You had Daz Ball and Stuart Core, Alvin Small, and it was just your condition, wasn't it? It was something where you jumped into the audience and then they penalized. I saw you writing on Instagram about this on Owen Powell's Instagram. You got penalized and they knocked you down to 4th. Do you remember that?
Yeah, of course. It was good times, like I said to you, like it's crazy, people cry about getting 2nd places or 3rd places and not winning shows now. I got, mate, once you've got 2nd place for like 4 or 5 years in a row, then complain. It's like these people like complain like once, got 2nd. Wow, listen, it's become bodybuilding's changed a lot since then. 10 years now, bodybuilding is different. It's like before we would hide away, train for a year, come back and show our goods what we've got. But nowadays, everything is like every day. Every day is a gym shot. Every day is a motivational quote. Listen, you cannot be that fucking motivational. Trust me. I can tell you that. These people, like, the problem with Instagram is people are posting what they think people want to see.
Yeah.
And I can't be that. I can't be that person, because how much is your physique going to change in a day? How much is your physique going to change in a fucking week or a month? The
thing is, pros are going to have proper fan followings. So for someone who doesn't compete or has done 1 or 2 shows, for them to do daily pitches, I competed back I did my last show 2013. I didn't even get Facebook to 2014. I didn't have Instagram till 2015. And it's like, for me, it's like when I see people in the gym, there was one gym I stopped training at because there was I remember one guy got arsey because I walked in front of his phone videoing himself doing chin-ups. And this guy just had like an average looking physique. And he was like, oh. And I was like, I'm from a different world where even, phones don't even make it onto the gym floor. So, say someone like Zach is getting ready for a show or he's just posting up daily pictures. For me, that's acceptable. But when someone doesn't even compete and they're just posting daily pictures, it's, does it drive you crazy, Zach?
Yeah, but the thing about it is, it's even though if you are fucking competing, why do you need to post daily pictures even then?
Yeah.
Because think about it, it's only you're weighing yourself on a weekly basis, and you'll start seeing changes weekly. You won't see nothing for the first 6 weeks of dieting. It's like really in the last 6 weeks, that's when you start to see changes every day, every couple of days. I can understand. You're excited and you want to take your clothes off every day and pose for everyone. You know what I mean? I can understand that.
That's something I don't do, by the way. Do you do that, AJ?
But it's the supplement owners controlling this market. It's telling the athletes you have to do.
Yeah, but do they? Do they?
I don't know.
Do they? I think it's people just taking it upon themselves.
No,
What do you think?
listen, when I was sponsored, by certain companies, I remember I had to do a couple of posts a week, you know what I mean, about 3 posts a week. It didn't have to be me, my underwear. It just had to be me, whether I'm training or whether I'm doing something motivational or promoting their product, you know?
Yeah.
It's like this. Nobody's telling these fuckers to get naked 3 times a day. Nobody's telling these fuckers to be positive fucking every day. You listen, human nature will tell you every day you're not going to be fucking positive. You can say to people you are positive, but trust me, mentally and physically, you cannot be that positive. If you are that positive, you're taking some fucking type of happy drug. You know what I'm saying?
What's that called?
I'll tell you later.
Because I want some.
I remember.
I'll tell you later.
Cheers, mate. Can you hook me up? Can you hook a brother up?
I remember after you got injured and you came back with that epic series, you black and white series. Remember?
Yeah.
Who created this? Was this your idea? Because that was. I remember this was like 7 years ago, 8 years ago
2010 he was injured, June 2010.
Yeah, and this was revolutionary because we haven't seen this before, you know? It was like really raw, your emotions, it was different.
Yeah.
Who created this?
It was like one of them situations where you got injured and you're like, fuck me, I've lost my contract with Reader Publications. Straight away, I lost it with them. I can understand, it's business. If they can't use me no more, so what's the point? True. You know what I mean? And then with my other sponsors at the time was Nutrex, and they said to me, listen, we're happy to support you still, and you know what I mean, we believe that you're going to come back. So I remember that I was at home, I was doing fuck all, and I just thought, you know what, how about I blog this, you know what I mean? And I did one blog, and I remember like people were loving it, and they loved the rawness, the truthness about it, because it was like, nothing to hide really, because the way I thought of it was like this. Listen, I'm sure there's people before me who have got injured, and there's people after me who are going to be in a similar situation to this. And this is all new for me. And let's see what happens. Let me ride the storm. But either I'll end up in the black hole, or I'll come and rise to the top. And you know, and able to train again and do what I want to do. And thank you, it was the latter, you know what I mean? Thank God for that. Because it's so easy for you to go back into that dark place. And, you know, where, you know, one day you're on top of the world, you get your pro card, you got the sponsors at your feet, and then all of a sudden, next day, shit hits the fan,
Bang.
You know?
Zach, I remember that day, because I even remember where I was driving, and I rang Zach. I was driving and ringing. It was in June 2010, and we'd just been all at this Scottish show when you guest posed at Davy's show.
Yeah.
In 2010, and he was looking colossal. Everything was looking great. Got his pro card finally, and you know, sponsors were on board. And then I remember ringing Zach, and I think it was about mid. I'm sure it was about midday. And I said, "All right, man." He goes, "You'll never guess what I've just done, Giles." I said, "What?" And he went, "Oh, I've just gone and injured." He says, "I'm on the," and I laughed because he just sounded so calm.
Okay.
And I was like, I said, "You're joking, you're pissing around." He says, "No, I'm on the floor." He said, "That's it, my career's over, I'm done."
And he was calm about it.
He was very calm about it. And he says, "I'm just on the floor, I can't move, I'm waiting for the ambulance to come." And
wow.
Do you remember that? I mean,
yeah, I remember
that was.
I think some of it was shock, and some of it, you know, I mean, like it didn't hit me then. It only hit me when I was in the hospital, and you have time to reflect, you know. Yeah, it's like one of them things, you know. Like people said to me, "Oh, was it because you lifted too much weight that time?" Listen, I've been lifting that type of weight all my fucking life. It's nothing new to me. It was just basically, it was one of them days, and you know, you give way, and it happened. You know, it's like saying to somebody, who's a racing car driver, "Oh, did you drive too fast around that bend?"
Yeah.
He just happened.
You know.
But you were doing that. You were doing that weight for like 20 reps, so it wasn't like you were doing 8 plates for 3 reps on the hack squat.
Exactly.
It was a weight he was doing 15 to 20 reps with.
Yeah,
bang, bang, bang. You know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not even like before I was going into the gym that day, or I felt like it's not going to be a good workout. You know, because I'm in tune with my body. As soon as I feel something's not right, I will back off it. Mentally, if I'm not right about something, I'll back off it, you know. But, you know, it's one of them things that happens, and you know what? end of the day, you realize there's other important things in life as well, you know?
Yeah.
And you concentrate on everything. And it's made me a better person, you know, what I am now, because I think to myself, and listen, there are people out there that think that, you know what I mean, best thing since sliced bread, and they've got this dream of being Mr. Olympia. And you know what? I feel bad for them if they don't, because they put so much pressure on themselves, and they do so much damage to themselves to get to that point. Like, you know, listen, if it's taking you X amount of chemicals and drugs for you to get your pro card, imagine how much it's gonna take you to get to that fucking level.
Yeah.
I was lucky. Before I even started taking anything, I was 26. You know what I mean? Mm. So believe it or not, when I was stood on my first year at the what's it called, British Championship, I got fourth, and that
2000.
Yeah, Gary Lister won it that year.
I remember. Yeah. 2000.
Yeah. Like I said to you, people think, oh yeah, Zack must have been taking fucking loads of gear. I remember, my first cycle was fucking Anavar.
Yeah, I remember.
That's his first cycle.
Yeah. And it was like, this was in it was a heavyweights then. We didn't have the super heavyweight class then.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was there. I was at that show.
People didn't believe him then.
I mean, I took photographs at that show, and he was belonging and getting call-outs with the top guys, you know. The year after he came back in 2001, I think you took third, wasn't it? Simon Cohen.
Yeah. I got fourth. I got third. Then I got second.
Yeah.
And then I got second for a few years.
Paul Delahaye, wasn't it? And Troy Brown and everyone.
Yeah. And then I remember that year I got fourth because I jumped into the crowd.
Yeah.
And then the year
into the crowd.
I came back and won it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the rest is history. But you know what? The thing about it was, you know, them days as an amateur, we had fucking proper rivalry. We had proper rivalry. Listen, I fucking, my family and Dad's Ball's family, so many times was gonna get into fights in the fucking.
Oh really?
Yeah. Trust me. They fucking they hated each other.
Oh my god! It's funny because you're really good friends now with like Alvin Small and Stuart Core.
Yeah.
They're all like a bunch of buddies at the shows together. And
That's Ball just competed, didn't he?
In Classic.
Yeah.
But sorry, go back just to when you were injured, because I used to speak to you a lot then.
Yeah.
And I remember there was only one time out of all the times on your road to recovery, because you had all those setbacks with the messing of the bloody surgery up. There was only one time that I spoke to you that you weren't positive. So that's testament to his determination and his mindset. There was one time, I think it was when he recovered and then he realized he had to have it done.
What made you be so positive? Was it religion? Was it your inner? What helped you, like, keep the positive? Not because some people will be broken. You see them
No.
What helped?
It's like this. Listen, you have to understand what my mentality was like. For a person to get second 5 years in a row and keep coming back, and knowing in your mind that you can win. You know, become first place. It wasn't about me becoming a pro. It was about me being the British Championship, champion. So, when people say, oh yeah, did you want to be a pro? I had no fucking idea what a pro was. When I first competed, it wasn't about being a pro. I just knew that, listen, I love competing. And then I went onto the British stage and I said to myself, oh cool, let's see how far I can ride this out. I didn't realize what becoming a pro was. Oh, you got first place, then you became a pro. It was only until I got second a couple of times, then I thought to myself, can I do this or can I not do this? Win first place, not be a pro and then get on that Olympia stage or do whatever next. So I was a stubborn son of a bitch. Stubborn as fuck as they come. So that's why when I got injured, I knew this wasn't going to hold me back.
Yeah.
Because I would not allow myself to be that person where I feel sorry for myself and people look at me and feel sorry for me. I ain't about that. I always say to people, listen, I fucking lived a good life. I've enjoyed myself. if tomorrow I pass away, don't fucking cry on my grave. Fucking look at me and say, this guy fucking did it all. I enjoyed myself. I can say I did everything to the best of my ability, and I can't ever say that, oh, I should have tried harder or I should have done more, you know.
But how did it feel to be on the cover when it said the next big thing? Wasn't that what the headline was?
2010.
How did that make you feel? Did you feel no pressure at all, or like?
No, honestly, it was surreal. Basically, it was just surreal, like, you know, American company, you know, coming out to sponsor me and stuff like that. I just thought to myself, like, don't get me wrong, I felt a bit of pressure at the time when Nutrex sponsored me before I became a pro. And I thought...
Oh, that's right. It was in 2008, wasn't it? The end of 2008.
Nutrex did a great job with marketing you.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. So they sponsored me before I became a pro. So when I became pro, straight away, they said to me, listen, you're coming out to America for 1 month and doing the tour. So that's why basically it just blew up for me there.
I remember. And let's go back to 2009 when I introduced you to Neil Hill at the end of 2008, because I went to Zack and Zack was like, 4th place. I just think I might just get as big as fuck and just guest pose. Oh. That's what he said. And just guest pose. I'm just going to sack off the bit. I'm just going to get freaky huge. I'm going to just look how I want to look. And I said to Zack, Zack, there's 2 areas you need to work on. You need to get your conditions sorted. So we need to hook you up with a good prep coach. And we need to get you some real promotion. So obviously I introduced him to Neil Hill. They hit it off. And obviously they got his pro card.
Who was Neil Hill doing at that time?
Just Flex, wasn't it really at the time?
Yeah, he was doing Flex. And I think he was...
a long time ago.
James Llewellyn.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of, like, you know, amateurs at that time. It was like nothing major.
Yeah, and I remember when you did because I flew down to Cardiff, and then you and Neil Hill picked me up, and Neil rings me from the airport, and he says, right, Giles, he says, if you just look over, he says, we can see you. He says, Zack will start waving, and Zack and Neil were right over the other end of the car park, and all I could see was Zack in this big orange top, waving his arms. I was like, yeah, I see him like that. And I remember being stuck in it. And Neil picked us up in his work van. And I remember it was such a hot day and I was like squished right in between Neil and Zack. But and I remember when he did the Welsh Championships, I remember because Bill Tierney, the president, came over and he sat down and he had this like shocked look on his face. And he said, and he had it on a piece of paper and he says, that's what Zack's just weighed in at, 127.1 kilos, which is 279.4 pounds. So he was 20 stone on stage with ripped glutes. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I remember, it's funny because I remember you won the overall, and I heard a couple of people booing for the guy that probably got second in the overall. I was thinking,
why would they be?
Why are you booing? The guy's a monster. I mean, there's nothing like Welsh, because this was the Welsh Championships, which it was an open show.
Yeah. You know? But that guy was the favourite, isn't it? He was the favourite for the Welsh team, you know what I mean?
And then,
he was the gladiator, ex-gladiator. What's his name?
Alex Georgiev.
Yeah,
he's a good guy. Nice physique. Very good physique. Fantastic physique. But and then
actually, no disrespect to him. He was proper, polite gentleman. Yeah. But you know, fans are fans, aren't they? You know what I mean?
You're on his home turf, mate.
Yeah, that's it exactly. So there you go.
And I remember Neil coming down the front, and he says, "What do you think?" And I said, what do you think we need to get off? Because the British was 5 weeks later. This was in 2009. And I said, you realistically probably got to get 14 to 16 pounds off that to be shredded for the British, to win the British. Because Neil was like, we've got to get him.
Was he the favourite going in?
Well, Zack's always the favourite going in, but it was just that conditioning we needed. I said, well, you know, he's big, but he needs to maybe get another 14. Anyway, Neil got 22 pounds off him, brought Zack down to 258. 258 is actually anorexic for Zack. Ooh. But he looked amazing. I mean, the conditioning and the separation and the quality of and his waist was tiny. I mean, that was a really good year for the British as well. You had like Alvin Small in second. You had Stuart Dasball, who was like, I think Dasball had 24-inch calves that year. Oh. He was a freak. But it was a good year, wasn't it, Zack?
Yeah, like then for the overall, I had to beat
Sean Tavernier.
Sean Tavernier there, you know.
Yeah, he's still going.
Who next year won the Rookie of the Year at the Olympia and took 5th. 2 years later in the 202. Yeah, it was a good year, wasn't it?
Yeah, so, you know, it was hard getting your pro card them days. You know what I mean? People nowadays will never realize how hard it will be. You know what I mean?
I got mine yesterday. I sent a picture into an Instagram, and they went, "Yeah, we'll give you a pro card." AJ's getting his next week.
No, but there's some good. No.
Sorry, over to you.
But no, keep on.
No, go on.
No, because I want to hear the
2010.
Norway 2010.
Yeah, 2009, obviously, and and that was just a real. I felt it was because I felt nice to be part of that journey and to see and like things really started to happen for Zack. It was such an exciting time. Photo shoots with Kevin Horton, front cover of like Muscle Mag. You know, I hooked up the articles. We got the shoots with Kevin Horton, and it was so exciting to finally see Zack get that kind of credit. You know, he got Nutrex, he got the Weeder contract, he had a column, and everyone, like, literally, and it was like, so this guy I'd been rambling on about for like a year. Sometimes they wouldn't even respond to my emails and my messages. I think one of the only ones that did at the time, but this was about 2008, was John Romano.
Oh, was it? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
John Romano. He actually
worked for MD at the time.
He did, yeah. And he says, yeah, I like this guy. He looks good, you know. And then eventually, Muscle Mag Robert Kennedy, God rest his soul, he said, he says we like the big guy. We want to be. All the magazines want to be the first.
Yeah, he was in there a lot with the commercials, the pictures in the magazine, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he was like, yeah, okay, let's run it. He said, this is a good find, Giles. And I remember writing the article, and I remember just. Yeah, it was a good time. That really good time. And then obviously 2010, you know, the injury happened, and but to see the way that Zack kind of came back from that. I mean, I remember that. Do you remember that video you did when you actually? It was like from your point of view, and you were waking up and you were snoring. Yeah. It was like, and it was Zack, and then he actually had like eyes opening up.
You created that alone, or you got help with that?
Yeah, he did it himself.
Yeah,
But he used to send the clips off.
Yeah, I used to send it to Nutrex, and they used to edit it for me. So
good.
It was cool. Like, I used to just give them the raw footage, so, you know, and then they used to just break it down to like 5 minutes what they need to do with it, you know.
But it was every single week. I mean, how many episodes of that did you do? That was
It was all the time.
Yeah.
Like I said to you, sometimes I did 2 episodes a week. You know what I mean? It got to the point where the most I did was like 4 a week.
Oh wow, really?
Wow.
Yeah. Because the people just kept on asking for them. The people just kept on messaging on the Nutrex Facebook saying, "Oh, when's his next blog? When's your next blog? When's the next blog?"
Do you know, there's one thing flagging up in my brain. I remember when you had like a couple of surgeries because they'd messed it up. And I remember you did a video of you on the Smith machine. You're doing Smith machine squats with 4 plates aside. And I think it was the first time he'd got under a decent amount of weight.
After the surgery.
And it was more sort of focusing in on his face and his mind. And he went down and he just did this rep and got back up. And it was like a real milestone, wasn't it?
Because more than anything, when you've injured yourself or even like, you've had a car crash or something like that, it's more mentally than physical, because you're always going to be thinking, like, you know, if you had a car crash, or somebody's going to pop out and hit me. Same with you know, an injury like with legs or any body part, you're always going to be thinking, oh shit, can my body handle this? Can my body handle this? Yeah. Your body can handle a lot more than you think, because your body is going to always is always going to tell your mind, oh, you can't do this, you need to be safe. As soon as things start hurting, the signal goes off saying, this is hurting, now stop it. But your mind needs to overcome your body and say, you can fucking do this, just fucking do it. Simple. You know what I mean?
And obviously you didn't re-injure yourself. I mean, I had a chat with Branch Warren once, and I said, I've seen a video of you, because you tore his quad as well, you'd slipped. Yeah. I said, I've seen it, and your reps are still really choppy. I said, why do you not tighten your form up? And he said, yeah, but when it heals, it actually heals stronger. He says, and that's the way I've always trained.
No disrespect to Branch, but you know the favorite picture I used to post on the forums?
What's that?
Is Zack Khan beside Branch Warren.
Oh, in the cab?
When they sit inside the cab. You remember that picture? And Branch is like Mr. Olympia, top 2, top 3.
Yeah.
And he hasn't competed, and he was like... Remember that picture?
I remember. He's like Zack's leaning over like that.
I look like a little child next to him, huh?
Yeah. I'll be sure to tell Branch when I see him.
No. We don't want to... no. But what about... when you came back, because you've been competing since then?
2012?
Yeah, I came back and I did my pro debut. I did it at the Dallas Pro, you know what I mean?
How was that?
Yeah, I came, so I came back and did that. I was happy with what I brought. the condition-wise and everything, and I got 7th, a respectable 7th. So I was happy with that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
Steve Cookler won that, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I remember Bob Chick saying you should have been maybe 5th. But anyway,
who did you compete against in that show? Kuklo, and do you remember?
I honestly don't even remember the guys, but yeah. So even that, so I did that. Got respectable 7th, and then after that, a year later, I did. It was a Norway show, which was a mess up because my dad passed away and everything. It was a Tampa show I did. My dad passed away the night before. So basically, my condition was watery, smooth. It's crazy how your body can change so much in 12 hours,
Zach, I've seen your body change within... I remember when we were in Neil Hill's, he had like this caravan thing in his house, and I remember I was on the boards, and Neil was cooking all his food, and this was at the 2009 Welsh, and he was giving food to Zach, he was carving him up, and I remember I was like, every half an hour or 45 minutes, I'd turn around, and you could see Zach going... He was literally inflating and changing. You could see his forearms getting drier and fuller. So I've seen Zach's body change in a matter of like almost minutes.
Right in front of you.
Yeah. So so it's one of them things that It's like bad luck in the next couple of shows I did, and after my dad passed away, I really lost that buzz to compete because after I competed, I remember the backlash I got from the public was saying, "Oh, he's fat, he's watery, he's this, he's that." And you know what? I'm not the type of person to blame anybody apart from myself. You know what I mean? So, I was working with the coach as well then, and the coach is not to blame. You've got to take it on yourself. You know what I mean? So, when people after a show go, "Oh yeah, by the way, I got this place because I was ill, or I got food poisoning, I got this and that." Listen, what's the point in saying anything? It doesn't matter. I didn't win the show. I look terrible, and nothing's going to change that. So why even say anything? Do you get me? So, so that's the way I kept it. Then after that, I remember I wanted to come back, compete still. But when I saw what's happening to the bodybuilding scene, it's becoming like the porn industry. You're seeing girls not even doing proper workouts. So it's all about exploiting their fucking ass, you know what I mean, to get followed, to get likes, to get sponsorship. So supplement companies are basically using these girls to, exploit their bodies. And it's not fitness. It's not fitness. Same with guys. Guys are posting pictures of themselves with their abs and pecs, and they've got a big following. So,
We're going to say something else then. A big following.
The thing about it is a lot of people on Instagram, man, they've got a huge following. Whether they bought their followers, who fucking knows? You know what I mean? Nobody knows. But these companies will rather give... you can sponsor a pro for just say $5,000 a month, yeah? For $5,000 a month, man, you can sponsor 100 bikini girls. You understand what I'm saying?
With the bigger following.
And 100 fucking bikini boys,
Bikini boys.
to get the name out there. So, the proper girls who are training hard and who are taking it seriously. When I was younger, then you see the girls who would train, they train fucking hard. You saw them on stage, you respected that. You saw their pictures on Facebook, you respected what they did. They trained hard. They weren't doing fucking booty shots and try to make sexy pictures. They were proper sweating, and they were raw pictures of them. And you respected these women because them women are proper athletes. But the problem is now, because it's all exploited with sex now, all these girls who aren't even like this are forced to be like that. And the same with the guys are, So basically, Instagram is making everybody dumb down, because if you act like you're too smart on Instagram or controversial, people won't like your topics. But if you post a picture, if I posted tomorrow a picture of myself in Calvin Klein posing trunk, Calvin Klein briefs, I'll probably get over 1,000 likes. But if I did the same post of me talking about sat there talking about world hunger or something else, I wouldn't get one like.
Yes.
You know?
I think I'm going to decide against the comeback now, AJ.
But have you gotten any backlash from your Instagram posts?
I always get backlash. They get taken down all the time. But
By who?
listen,
Because I'm not into
Instapolice.
Instapolice.
Instantly. Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. Basically, somebody doesn't like your post. If I went on your Instagram and I didn't like one of your posts and I didn't agree to it, whether it's right or wrong, or whether it's good or bad, but I can report your post anonymously without you knowing, yeah? And Instagram will take it up.
With no.
So be careful, AJ.
But who controls this? Like, if one people complain or if more people complain?
I have no idea. But
Wow.
yeah, but basically, anonymously, anybody can complain and you can get your post taken down. Yeah. You know, it's like this. This is the funniest thing. Somebody took my post down about just says somebody being obese. Yeah, like somebody took my. I posted a obese person today with a Volkswagen badge, and I said, "Oh, yeah." So this Beetle's got low mileage. You know what I mean? Does anybody want to buy it?
Oh my God! I'm quite frankly, I'm shocked.
So they took it away. Wow.
So this person, somebody reported it, got taken down.
Oh my God! Sorry, was it you, AJ? It was you. I think
now.
Yeah.
But listen to this now. On the other side of the spectrum, I reported a post. I reported somebody's profile because he says I'm a pedophile.
He called you a pedophile?
No, he's put in his bio, he is a pedophile.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I reported this person saying to Instagram, this person has put he's a pedophile to say he doesn't break the guidelines of Instagram.
Wow. So modern day society is just...
Maybe his name was Peter File. just throwing this out there, guys.
Oh, even Chris is laughing behind. Then you know it's good, huh?
Sorry, that was a really bad joke. Very, very offensive. I'm very sorry, High Tech.
But do you see anything for the future? Do you think this can change? Do you think people can smarten up? Do you think there's a way to educate people? Like, is there a way?
No, listen. I'm telling you one thing now, it's gonna get worse.
Oh.
Because the more outspoken you are, the more they're gonna fuck you up and censor you. Any controversial post you got about vaccines, about Israel, about politics, about water contamination, about world hunger, about transgenders. You talk about any of these subjects, I'm telling you right now, them posts will get deleted. You know, whether you heard about this or not, in China at the moment, they have got this new scheme going on with social media is if you are a good citizen, you get higher points. You might have seen this on that program called Black Mirror.
Yeah.
So basically in China, if I say the Chinese president is great, he's amazing, China is the best place, I will have access to the best restaurants, to the best travel.
Is this we can check this? Where can people find more about this?
Just Google it, man. Just Google about this. Yeah, what they're doing. So basically, if I say, I hate this about China, I will lose points. And if I go to a certain restaurant, they'll say, listen, you can't come here. You haven't got enough points.
That sounds like something you'd find in maybe North Korea. I was watching a program about that, how controlling it is.
No, listen, it's happening in China right now. And also there's over 1 million Muslims in concentration camps because they don't want people to practice religion.
Really? Where is this?
In China.
They have 1 million Muslims in concentration camps.
Yes. You don't see this on news. See what I'm saying? They will only show you in the media about Brexit and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? About Theresa May and about the European Union. At the moment, look what's happening in France.
Oh, yeah, with all the riots, yeah?
Yeah, the riots.
Protests.
You don't see that on media. You don't see that. No. So you see what I'm saying? Social media now, they know people are addicted to it and they don't want to get banned from it. so they're not going to post anything what's going to be controversial. So it comes down to whether do you want to use it for business. If you want to use it for business, great. It's a great place to use it for business. But if you want to use it to talk about certain topics, what you strongly believe about,
it's not a good tool.
No, it's not.
No.
Let's talk about where you're at now in terms of. I mean, I remember I went to the old gym. I know you moved it and you made it a personal training studio. It's not like it's not everyone can train at your gym, can they? They have to be.
That gym I sold a year ago.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize. Sorry.
Yeah. I sold it a year ago because I was traveling so much and everything.
Yeah.
And basically, people used to come down to that gym to see me. So if I was not there, then what was the point of having it? So it made more sense me selling that gym and using that money capital for my supplements.
What's this La Familia thing I've heard a lot about?
That's one of my ex-business partners. You know what I mean?
You're not with them anymore.
No. He's done the clothing side of it, La Familia, and I've done the supplement side of it, ZKK Labs. So basically, I use the freedom of able to train in different gyms and promote my brand at the same time.
What's your brand's name?
ZKK Labs.
Okay, and what do we have there? What do you have? What's
basically you know I got my basic proteins, I got my mass gainers, I got my aminos, and I got my fat burners. Everything what I had when I used to was competing and training hard. You know what I mean? Nothing fancy what you don't really need. Just kept it basics to what I would use. It's like my mass gainer has got oats in it already, so you don't need to mix oats with it.
So you can stand by your products.
Yeah. Because if I didn't use them myself, then what's the point promoting them? There's no fucking point.
Didn't you have a pre-workout as well?
Yeah, I got a pre-workout drink as well. Yeah.
What's it like?
Yeah, it's good. You know what I mean? But like I always say to people, listen, I like it because it's what I've designed. But you guys need to try it yourself. Mm-hmm. And there's so many products on the market. You got so much choice. Mm-hmm. So it all comes down to preference. What flavors you like and stuff like that. If you like chocolate orange, if you like Nutella, if you like Red Bull pre-workout drink, then my supplements are for you. But if you like strawberry, basic flavors like vanilla and chocolate, just basic flavors, then you got other 100 brands out there.
So is that the main thing you've got going on now? Have you got any other projects going on? Because I've kind of lost touch with you the last year or two, but you're always someone that's got loads going on. Yeah,
basically I've got my supplements and I've got my personal training, I've got my boot camps, you know what I mean, stuff like that. So, a lot of people message me to do, online coaching. I can't fucking do online coaching. I need to see the person and they're going to be there in front of me. I need to know how the fuck they lift that weight up. How the fuck do they concentrate? Are they just... Listen, you can say to somebody, do bench press.
You don't see the form, you don't see the...
Until you see them doing bench press, you don't know what the fuck they're doing. Are they holding their arms too wide? Are they holding it too close? Are they emphasizing more their tricep than their chest? There's so many different factors. Sometimes people who have got big arms and they say, I can't make my chest grow because you're holding it too narrow and your triceps are taking over, not your chest. You will notice a lot of guys will do bench press and they're holding it close to each other, so the triceps are doing it. You need to be holding it a bit wide so your chest is doing it. But because if they do it properly, they'll probably have to do one plate less, and they won't be as strong in the gym.
Is there anybody you're helping now? The current scene. Is there anybody you're involved with? The current UK bodybuilders. Is there anybody?
No, like I said, there's a couple of guys who are my friends, and I'll advise them and stuff like that. But nothing what I work with currently. Okay. End of the day, listen. I will train people, no problem. You know what I mean? When it comes down to dieting them and nutrition and stuff, I'll rather work with people at the beginning so they learn about their body, so they get to the point where they don't need a coach. The thing about it is like this. Listen, if you're going to college, to learn engineering, you will read books, you will have tutors, you will have lecturers to teach you this subject. Once you have fucking graduated in that fucking subject, why the fuck do you need somebody else to teach you anymore? Same thing with bodybuilding. Once you learn these people about protein, carbohydrates, fats, how you fucking manipulate the carbs and how you manipulate the fats to, and how you manipulate the cardio, and this is what you need to be doing, every 3 days, weigh yourself. Why wait 7 days to weigh yourself? If you only lost 1 or 2 pounds in 3 days, you're going to wait 7 days to fucking lose that weight to find out, 7 days later, I haven't lost no weight now, so what am I going to do? So at least if you're weighing yourself every 3 days, at least you can say after a couple of days, I haven't lost a pound yet, so that means I need to either increase my fucking cardio or decrease my carbs. It's not really rocket science, is it?
I want to ask you what you thought about this year's Olympia.
Yeah.
Shocker? Oh, you froze there. Sorry.
Hello.
Hi.
Listen, just wait 2 seconds. Let me plug this in. My phone's going a bit low.
All right, then, mate. 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Passionate man.
ZKK. I'm going to bring up some personal stories. Some
But you got to remember that.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. No, I've got some good personal stories. It's like funny enough, when he was injured and the day he came back from hospital, I went down to see him, and
I want to hear everybody's thoughts about Olympia.
Yes, definitely.
That's interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
But I hope people.
Oh, here he comes! Stop saying bad things about him. Stop slagging him off.
No, but you can tell he's passionate,
Yeah, it's all good.
I know.
He's always had that.
He's not a fake guy.
No, definitely not fake.
So the Olympia, what's your thoughts about the Olympia?
Okay, 2 seconds.
Oh my God, you sound really deep now, Zach.
He's going deep, eh?
Zach's going deep, baby.
Oh, you froze up now.
Hang on. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, can you see me, yeah?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay, cool. Good. Go ahead, guys.
Want to hear about what you thought about the 2000 well, this is Olympia.
Listen, one thing about the Olympia is like this. They always say, you got to knock the champ off, yeah? And listen, as much as I love Sean Roden, beautiful physique, and I can understand that they want to bring the classic aesthetic look and, back to the masses, and promote bodybuilding again. Listen, me personally, I think it's like this. After a Mr. Olympia has won the title for more than 3 years, listen, step down, let somebody new come.
I didn't expect this.
Not only because of the reason of, letting somebody new come, also the reason of your fucking health. So you're pushing your body over 3 years consecutively on that top level. It ain't good for fucking no one. Look at Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah. So if that had been in place, who would we have had as Mr. Olympia after what? 2014, 2015. We'd have had we'd have had Dexter. We'd have had Sean Roden. We'd have had Rami.
Yeah.
So we'd have had 3 or 4 more Mr. Olympias if that had been in place.
But you didn't tell me your thoughts about who did you have winning and do you agree with the placings?
Look, like I said to you, I think me personally, Phil should have won.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Why do you think so?
Because the thing about it is, listen, Phil winning, I think to myself personally, he looked better than last year.
Okay, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because only thing he lost on was the stomach distension. Yeah, So let's just say one thing. He lost on the double bicep pose. Yeah, Sean Roden fucking annihilated him on that pose. Yeah,
yeah.
What I mean? Yeah. Let's just say, okay, even Sean beat him on the front lats bed. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's just give it that to Sean as well.
Yeah.
Then let's say now side chest. There you go, Phil. Side tricep. There you go, Phil. Because it's not the only side chest you take into consideration. You take into the shoulder, the legs. You know what I mean? From the side. And then from the back, it's game over, isn't it?
Yeah. What do you think about Flex stepping down from the 212?
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because Flex is maxed out that class. He's been struggling to make that weight for the past 4 years.
He said after the first year he outgrew the class. He said he had to really. It was a struggle to make it down to 212 after 2012, which was the first year he won the 212.
Yeah. So listen to me. So one side of me says Phil should have won. Yeah, based on the poser. But then other side says to me, it's a good choice. Roden won as well, because now basically it brings a fresh lease of life for guys who are more aesthetic looking to be Mr. Olympia. You know what I mean? Because some people look up Phil Heath and they say he's the fucking gift. That's why he'll always be Mr. Olympia. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But then there's people who look like Sean Roden, and they always thought we will never be Mr. Olympia. And because Sean Roden has won Mr. Olympia, it gives everybody that fucking chance. And you know what? He has got a fucking beautiful physique.
Yeah. What about next year, though? Do you think
next year
again?
What did Phil say? He's coming back?
He's not coming back 2019.
Not coming back next year.
So that's it. Then it's over for a minute.
You don't think he'll come back?
No.
You don't think he'll come back in the 2020 Arnold?
No.
2020 Olympia? Him and Kai?
No. No. Because the reason I said that is because when you had a loss, it fucking knocks the fuck out of you. I mean, mentally, it fucks you up. And we
were talking about.
The mentally it fucks you up. And Phil having that loss, whether he says it or not, it has affected him. You know what I mean?
Why do you say that?
Because you got to remember, you're on top of your fucking game, and you're untouchable. And all of a sudden, you have this fucking operation, hernia, and it's fucked your physique up. And the chances are, it's not going to get any better. You
don't think it can be improved? Don't think it can be fixed?
Listen, it's got nothing to do with his gut size or anything like that, because you got to remember when you have a hernia and then you have to have it repaired again, it's scar tissue on scar tissue. So every time you open up that fucking wound, you're going to have more scar tissue built up. Right. So to fucking get rid of that, so if you're going to go in and get rid of that scar tissue, then you're already causing more scar tissue. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a vicious fucking circle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So what do you think? What do you think? Sorry, what do you think about Ramy working with Neil Hill now? Do you think that's going to be a good alliance?
Listen, Ramy working with Neil Hill is probably going to be his last chance.
Yeah. Well, he's worked with everybody. He's worked with everybody else.
He's worked with everybody now. Huh?
Yeah, Chris Aceto.
Put it this way. I know the way Neil fucking worked with me, and trust me, for Ramy, it's going to be fucking 100 times harder for him. You know what I mean?
Really?
To bring him fucking down mentally and make him realize he doesn't need to be the biggest guy. And the thing about it next year is, whether you like it next year or not, it's going to be an open fucking show. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Because Ramy's beaten Sean Roden. Dexter's beaten Sean Roden. William Bonak's beaten Sean Roden. William Bonak's beaten Ramy. William Bonak's beaten Dexter Jackson. Yeah. They've all beaten each other, not on the Olympia, but on other shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's going to be an open one. Don't get me wrong, but it's given Sean Roden a lease of fucking confidence and life.
43. I mean, last year I actually had Sean 8th place. I didn't even have him 5th. But he had problems with injuries, and he had he broke his jaw. He was having to blend everything. I didn't realize this until afterwards. But did anyone see Sean coming on the horizon? Because I certainly didn't. I think I saw one person that said he would even make top 5. Everyone wrote him off.
No, I will. One thing I know about Sean is his fucking physique changes. Yeah. I've seen holiday pictures of him, man. He looks like fucking nothing in the swimming pool, and it's like he's fucking 14 weeks out from a show.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he gets back into the gym, and I'm like, this guy doesn't even look like he's going to make top 10.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And then all of a sudden, I remember I saw a picture of him like 5 weeks out, and I said to my mate, fuck me, can you believe the change? He goes, fuck me. Yeah. And then I had to go back and look at his old pictures and say, fuck me, that was like 14 weeks out with his on holiday in the pool, and he just looked like a normal kid.
But I remember the 11 weeks out from the 2011 Mr. Olympia on the MD forums. There were some pictures of Phil Heath guest posing, and because obviously he took second the year before, and everyone was like, "Oh, he looks terrible. He looks." Oh, I'm like, that guy changes. He transforms as he preps. Obviously, like Sean Roden does.
Yeah, but Sean Roden is because he looks sometimes like he doesn't even.
Well, the pictures of Prague. It was pictures of him like, and he just looks like a lot smaller.
One thing with Sean Roden is like, I've seen him look fucking amazing at the Olympia. Then a week later, doing the Prague shows and that, and he changes so much. He finds it like so hard to keep. Finds it so hard to keep hold of his condition. So that's the reason I think that why he didn't do any shows after the Mr. Olympia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he knows that it's hard for him to keep hold of his condition, and he's lost to these guys after the Olympia before. It's not going to be a good thing that he just won Mr. Olympia, then he loses to somebody else.
Because he was down to do the Prague show, wasn't he? He was he was on the poster,
yeah.
And then I think he just turned up and did an appearance because maybe because of what Zack is saying, you know. So okay, let's talk about Sean. How do you think Flex will do when he comes back as as an open? Because I was speaking to Flex at the Superstar seminar. I said, Flex, I've got a number in my head of how I think what you will weigh as your best weight as an open, and it was actually 225, and he went 226. I was 1 pound out, and it's like, how do you think he would look, say, next to William Bonac?
Is the Flex definitely doing the open?
It looks 80% like I've got. Do you know? I actually have a feeling he might actually not compete again.
Like me personally,
I do.
Me personally, I don't think Flex has got anything to prove.
He doesn't, does he?
No, I don't think Flex has got anything to prove. Listen,
and look how he looked at the Olympia this year. He looked absolutely phenomenal.
But it's open field now, though. Times are changing.
Yeah,
good point.
Yeah,
if he ever gonna do it.
The thing about it is that, listen, because Flex can't put any more muscle on. This is what makes me laugh about the 212. They'll see pictures of Flex Lewis 8 weeks out. Fucking looks amazing, yeah?
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna fuck me. That guy looks unbelievable. He can do the open. Yeah, he can fucking do the open. But the thing about it is, he has to lose muscle tissue to get it 212. So you know when 212 people are weighing fucking X amount off season, like 250 or 260, mate. Doesn't matter how much you weigh off season, you have to come down to that class.
Yeah.
So how much muscle can you put on? So tell me something. Somebody's maxed out at 212, and next year he weighs more heavier off season. How much improvements can he make on his physique to be 212?
So, how do you think he'll do well as an open, or do you think he'll come back?
Oh, I think. Listen, fucking Flex will be like top 5.
Yes.
You know, he's top 5.
Told you. That's what I think as well.
What about you? Is there any chance?
What about me?
Is there any chance to see you do a comeback?
Listen,
Bikini boy.
No.
No. Listen, the thing is,
with those eyebrows, maybe he'll do the.
I was just admiring. I was admiring Zack's eyebrows.
They're really nice.
They're beautiful.
You do it with the thread, don't you? Like the thread, the what's it called? The thread, isn't it? You use the thread. You use the thread, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, threading. No, I'm a hard bastard. I get them plucked out.
Oh. But it stays for a long time.
Yeah, we get with a hot poker. He has it done. Like,
no, but will we see a comeback?
Listen, it's like this one thing with me. I always say to people, they said to me, "Are you going to make a comeback?" I said to them, "Listen, it comes down to one thing and one thing only. You know, when I look at myself and if I diet down for the show and I ask myself, can I be in the mix? If I don't feel like I can be in the mix, then what's the fucking point me sacrificing my life for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th place.
But sometimes it's not just about winning contests. It does, it probably is good for your business. I mean, look at Kevin Levrone making his comeback. That certainly didn't hurt his brand coming back, getting last place. I mean, there's someone... Yeah, but that's someone who's...
Yeah, but he's also 50-something, so...
Yeah.
Giles, for me, like I always said to people, it's like, getting on stage is not the only thing for me.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding is your fucking lifestyle, man. Mm-hmm. And end of the day, like I said to you, if I feel like, I feel I made good changes, I'll do some guest posing and see what feedback I get.
Yeah.
And people say, wow, it's looking good. He should fucking compete. Yeah. And then great. But if people see me guest posing and think, man, you're washed up. See you later.
Will there be any guest posing? Do you have anything lined up?
I'm going to do some guest posing next year. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, there's the two bros, maybe.
Like I said, anybody who's interested in next year, I'll be doing some guest posting.
Here in the UK.
I mean?
Well, there's rumors that there might be an open pro show with the two bros in maybe May. I've heard the rumors, and there has been May.
Now?
May, there might be an open pro show. I think they're talking about it anyway. Okay. It might happen. But there's obviously like 4, 5, 6, 2 bros. You've got all the shows, all the NPC shows around Europe, so there'll be plenty of opportunities.
The guest post first.
Yeah, there's loads of opportunities.
Yeah, at the moment, like now, 2 bros have taken over the, UKBFF, for the pro card. So so there's a lot of positive things happening. You know what I mean?
Do you think that's a good thing, the 2 bros all coming around and the way it happened? And do you think it's all worked out for the best?
I think to myself personally, a lot of people have got this. They're a bit confused with the federation, with 2 bros. The name doesn't sound like a bodybuilding federation.
Yeah. Well, they say they're not. They say they're not a federation. That's what they say. That we're not a federation.
Well, you're not a federation. Then at least choose a name what's going to be more applicable to people. Why not call it NPC UK or something?
2 bros ho.
Yeah, 2 bros in the hole.
Bros to pros.
Sorry, no, I'm not being. No, I'm just messing around.
But I think the people would like to see you do the guest posing, definitely, and the people will want to see you come back.
Yeah. Like I said to you, at the moment with me here, I'm enjoying my fucking training. I'm training hard, still doing my thing. At the moment, whether you believe it or not, I'm off everything, giving my body a rest. Or in January, I'll start with the juices and berries and see what happens. You know what I mean?
The thing is with you, Zach, I mean, we've spoke privately about, sort of, because you're someone that really used to sort of, it really annoys me now. There seems to be a modern trend of these guys who just stay on all year round.
It's like,
and I just say, it's like, I'm off gear at the moment, but I'm still on. I'm just cruising at 2 grams of whatever. I'm like, but you're not off gear. That's not. And they age. These guys are aging. Their careers are very short. There's guys like in their 20s looking like 40, and you just think, you've got to come off properly. Think of your health. What do you think about that, Zach?
Listen, I always say to people is this: you have to get fucking comfortable with being uncomfortable, and that means, listen, all these chemicals you're putting in your fucking body, your body can only handle that shit for so long. You're not meant to be injecting that much testosterone in your fucking body.
All year round.
You're not meant to, you need to be giving your fucking kidneys, livers, your heart a fucking rest. You got to remember, it makes me laugh when I see people after a show and they post fucking eating junk food for 5 days in a row. Listen, you stupid fucker. You know how much pressure you're putting on your fucking heart?
Yeah.
You go, I put on fucking 30 pounds in a week. Mate, you're gonna fucking drop dead.
Yeah.
It's not. Listen, there's nothing cool about that. There's nothing fucking cool about it. Listen, it's fucking unhealthy as fuck. You putting that much pressure on your heart in 1 fucking week,
Yeah.
There's so much fluid in your fucking body you're holding, and your organs are fucking working overtime. People don't fucking realize is once you fucking diet, you need to slowly reverse diet.
Yeah.
A lot of people, get advice from coaches and whoever. They help them get into shape for the show, and after the show, you're on your own. And that's after a show is when you fucking need a coach the fucking most.
Yeah.
Because you need to able to, and a lot of girls have this problem with fucking thyroid. You know what I mean?
I've seen it. Metabolic damage, thyroid problems.
We see it in the bikini class. And
these poor girls. The thing is, you don't hear about them because they just disappear. They're like depressed and they're messed up and gaining weight and they're having, like serious mental and physical problems.
I've seen it a lot.
Yeah, it's bad. But some of these coaches don't care.
You know the problem is that I'll tell you one thing properly, honestly, about why a lot of guys stay on steroids and don't want to come off it, because be careful.
Careful, mate. Careful.
Not for that reason. Yeah, but the problem is that a lot of people, why they don't come off it, as soon as they do come off, they think, fuck me. Mr. Floppy is the number one thing. They can't get a fucking erection. You know what I'm saying? A lot of fucking guys have got problems with their penises. They don't know how to fuck a girl off when they're not taking tests. Yeah. As soon as they shove and train up their fucking arse, they incredible Hulk. Fucking Hulk smash every fucking night.
Yeah.
We call that the wang hang.
No, we can't.
The wang hang.
Alexander, what's his name?
No, don't start on about that, please. No. You won't show otherwise.
So mentally, that fucks them up. They're not 10 men no more. You know what I mean? So as soon as your testosterone level, if these fuckers are injecting 5 grams a week or 4 grams or 3 grams or whatever you want to fucking, well, I don't know what they're fucking injecting. You know what I'm saying? I can't say about them. But like I said to you, listen, for any guy, 1 gram of test a week is more than a fucking enough. If that fucking isn't, then obviously
it's not for you.
We've spoke about this over the years, and it's it was like me and Zack have spoke privately about it, and it's like surprising how moderate a lot of what he said was, and how sensible it was, and it was at a time where guys that were nowhere near as good as him were like, nah, you've got to take this much, you've got to do this, and it's like, well, there's.
Listen, don't get me wrong. I've gone up to fucking 2 grams of test a week, and I didn't feel no benefit from it.
Yeah, just your head grew.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Me fucking balls shrunk anyway, and my head grew, so it's not a good combo. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good thing, though, isn't it?
No.
You don't need big testicles. Who needs big testicles getting in the way?
I'm like, hello, motherfuckers, wake up! Where are you?
Do you slap them about a bit? Because I do.
Yeah. No. But that's the thing, a lot of people, they don't even know what proper PCT is anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They don't fucking know. All they know about now is, like 20, 22-year-old kids, I've seen them talking on Instagram saying, yeah, I cruise now, mate. 22 and you fucking cruise.
Cruising on 2 gram of gear. It's like, well, you're not. I find it absolutely scary, some of the practices. And then you see some of these guys' physiques and then they just disappear because they end up with health problems and mental and physical health issues.
Who do you blame for this trend?
I blame for this trend is mostly coaches.
Yeah.
Listen, because most of them will go with coaches who recommend more. Who if you're a fucking coach and you say on your Instagram, take 1 gram of test a week, take 600 grams of Deca a week, and take 1 oxymethylone a day, that's just I'm talking about a normal off-season cycle for you guys, yeah. And then take if you're taking Chinese fucking GH, then obviously you probably need to take about fucking 5 IUs of it. You know what I mean? But if you're, or 10 IUs of it. If it's taking proper growth, take about 2 IUs of it or 3 IUs of it.
And one thing, we're not recomming this for anybody, by the way.
No,
but it's important that we.
I know.
This is not for.
So you know what I mean. So you said somebody says that, but then somebody comes along and says, "Oh, you want to take 5 grams of test, fucking 2 grams of Tren. You want to take fucking 2 grams of Deca. You want to take 10 oxys a day.
Your body can't absorb. Your body can't utilize it. It's pointless. It's just a waste, and it's dangerous.
Because they're the ones selling it to them, probably.
Well, no, they're not selling it, but it's just people advising that really don't have a clue what they're talking about. So they'll err on the side of caution and just say, smash it, because they don't care about the athlete.
Listen to me. It's like this, and a perfect fucking example is this. You see somebody becomes a pro, yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah? And they over the fucking moon, they've got that pro card, and they only know how much it took them to get that pro card. Yeah. All of a sudden now, they're working with somebody fucking new, and all of a sudden, they've made a fucking leap in fucking weight, leap in fucking size. Yes, but you know what I mean? So imagine how much they have increased their fucking size. You're telling me, oh, just because they're a pro, now all of a sudden
Zack,
they've made this fucking leap.
I've seen bodybuilders. I remember, I won't say his name, but this was about 16 years ago. He turned pro and then he guest posed before he made his pro debut. And his physique had completely transformed. I mean, went from looking like an amateur to a really nice looking pro. And I spoke to him afterwards. I said, what have you done? He says, I relearned all my methods of training. And he said, I put more effort into my off-season nutrition and I more than halved my gear. Wow. That's what happened, and his physique transformed. He said, but I paid more attention to the diet and the training and less to the gear, and look what happened. My physique transformed.
And now, people don't do that anymore, huh?
No, it's against the mentality.
And the other thing what makes me laugh as well is you see people changing their fucking workout every fucking week, yeah? Oh, yeah, I'm confusing the muscle. Listen, you dumb fucker. Your muscle haven't got brains. So your muscle only knows two things. Contract and fucking stretch. So whether you're doing bench press, dumbbell press, flies, all of them exercises, your muscle is doing two things. Contract, stretch.
Yeah.
Contract, stretch. So where is the confusion going on in that?
Okay, Zack, I think we've covered that one. Zack, I want to talk about some personal stories, mate. Do you remember 2010 Olympia? When I kidnapped Kevin Navrone.
Oh, this is the story I want to hear.
Do you remember? Yeah. I was at the hotel. It was after the Olympia. The Olympia had finished. Jay Cutler had won.
Where you was getting high somewhere, yeah?
No, I was making very strong vodka and cranberries for Kevin Navrone because I found him and he was arguing with some woman on a phone, or he was arguing with someone on a phone. I went, Kevin, what are you doing, mate? I said, come on, it's Saturday night in Vegas. The Olympia's just... He went, oh. I went, right, you're coming with me. So I got him and I scooped him into the limo. There was Ron Harris and some other friends from the MD Forum. And then we went to the Win. It was the bodybuilding.com after party.
Okay.
And so anyway, we got to the cabana and then Zack turned up and my phone wasn't working and him and Kevin were doing some like little bit of mini pose down. They were getting their abs out and everything. And it was such... Do you remember that night? It was a good night.
Yeah, listen, Kevin is a fucking proper, he's an awesome guy.
He's a dude.
And every time I've met Kevin, he's always been a gentleman, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it was crazy that night because Kevin was at La Cabana and it's going, who's that girl? I mean, listen, mate, she's a hoe for show. I go, Kev, I go, look at this. He goes, what? I go to her, listen, I go, you know who this guy is? She goes, oh no. I went, fucking, he's a legend. You know what I mean? That's Kevin fucking Navrone.
Yeah.
I go, bend over and show him your ass. And she did. and she did.
That's Las Vegas.
That's Las Vegas for you, man.
Yeah, but everyone, there was Dorian was there when there was Gunter Schlierkamp, David Darth. And I just remember us all being sat around, and I think he was singing and all sorts. It was such a crazy night.
Man, it's like
I lost a shoe that night.
You know, one thing what people don't tell you about bodybuilding is that everybody who goes to the Olympia or the Arnold Classics or whatever, everybody is hooking up for a fuck anyway. You know, it's simple. Trust me.
I was actually there reporting and making cocktails for everyone.
Yeah, all right.
You know, thank you. I'm a professional.
Listen,
and
I'm telling you one thing. There's so much testosterone in that fucking expo. Women are walking out with beards. You know they're walking out with beards and with a fucking scratching their ball sack. But I don't know what that's for. You know what I mean?
Come on, AJ. You can expect this.
No, this is great.
Listen. I'll tell you something.
Go on then.
A story. I'll have to probably write this in my biography one day. There was a bodybuilder who I knew I was working with there. He goes to me, fucking, we're signing autographs there, and he's fucking next to me. He goes, Zack. I went, what? He goes to me, just cover me for 5 minutes. I go, why? He goes, this bitch wants to suck my dick. I went, fuck off. He goes, yeah. So he took her and come back. And that day, he must have got 5 blowjobs.
What was this in Nottingham or? Was this,
No,
where was
it's not
this?
Olympia.
No, the
Oi,
Olympia.
oi, oi,
Okay.
oi.
I think, yeah. Well,
Yeah. So
I'm speechless now. I'm kind of thrown a bit now.
I said to him, do they know you're fucking married? He goes, yeah, they don't give a fuck.
Lovely.
Yes.
So
Lovely. Okay.
Listen, man, the thing about it is, like I always say to people, like, if you're single and you're in the bodybuilding scene and you're traveling, you will fucking have the best time of your fucking life. But if you're in a relationship, your relationship's not gonna last. And a lot of people's relationships
Aren't there any exceptions to this rule?
Oh, of course, there will be some exceptions, but I can't speak. I don't know who they are.
I've not actually met him yet.
Oh, we have to show this after hours, maybe now.
Yeah,
huh?
no, it's all good. I think we all know what to expect from Zack. I mean,
Listen,
Zack's been very gracious.
I'm telling you one thing here.
Yeah.
You are an IFBB Pro. What do you think people put IFBB Pro on their fucking Instagram name? Because that will make the bitches wet.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
AJ, have you got any final questions for Zack before we let him go?
I think the audience around the world can see that Zack Khan tells it how it is. I hope people who want to learn real bodybuilding on all aspects contact you.
Listen, this is real bodybuilding. I'll fucking sum it up for you. Go to the fucking gym, be quiet, fucking train your balls off, go home, eat your food, fucking eat 6 meals a day, keep it consistent, yeah? Listen, and that means cooking your own fucking food. Your wife isn't your fucking cook. Make time for your kids, make time for your wife. If you got £100 in your pocket and you think to yourself, oh, do I spend this on Trembolone or do I spend this on taking my missus out? You fucking spend it on taking your missus out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think.
Listen, don't be a selfish motherfucker. Because once all that glitter and glamour is gone, you know, only your family is going to be there for you and your close friends.
I think we should end it at that.
Yeah.
Because that's a nice like Zack Khan ending. I think there's nothing more to say.
Yeah.
We wish you success.
Yep.
Giles?
Zack, well, I mean, I've been friends with Zack for 20 years.
Say something for your friendship.
I just want to give him a hug.
I'll meet you in the restroom, okay?
Oh, my God. Back where we met in 2006.
Yeah.
All right, Zack.
Listen, mate. I remember when I bear hugged you from the back here, and you pissed all over that bloke next to you.
Hang on a minute. Do you remember when the day you came out of hospital when you had your injury?
Yeah.
Who came to see you all the way down from Newcastle?
Who do you think? Some Welsh tiger.
No, I came down and I knew he'd be like, his legs were all strapped up and he was out of hospital. And I was like, do you know what, Zack? I'm going to come down. I go, there's a Thai restaurant I go and they cook all really clean, healthy food. I think I bought about £80 worth, bags and bags full, went and got it, drove down. And I think we had a couple of DVDs and I just sat all day with him, just bringing in food. Bringing in food all day and it was great. And it was a good day, wasn't it?
Giles, you rang the doorbell, man. Who got up and answered the door? Me? You were expecting me to be in a fucking wheelchair.
Yeah. I said to Zack, Zack, how do you wipe your ass? And he went, same fucking way that you do. And he got really, I remember that. Yeah. But it was.
Actually, you know, wiping my ass was a military operation.
Was it?
Yeah, fucking hell. I had to have a stool in front of me, put my legs in front of me.
Oh my
fucking
And on that note, look, Zack, thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it. It's
where can we reach you if they want to work with you, or they want to? What's your Instagram account for people who want to get a hold of you?
Listen, if you want to get a hold of me, I will do the bat sign, okay? But it will be with a booty.
And then
okay. All right, Zack. Okay. Look, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you at some of the UK shows and some of the
Listen, man. I don't need to advertise my Instagram or my Facebook or anything. People who follow me know how to find me. You know what I mean? So respect and thank you for your time.
No, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Zack.
I enjoyed chatting to you. Even Roland Rat in the back.
Cheers.
Okay.
Cheers, Zack. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye. There we go.
Wow.
I think we got what we expected from Zack.
Wow. That was good, wasn't it? Obviously, we have to tell that we don't condone. We can't. What are we going to say?
The use of booties or...
Or
I know,
some-
yeah, and of
you know
course.
what I
No, well, it's something that people are going to want to know about, and obviously it's something. The opinions are his.
Yes.
He's free to talk about what he wants to talk about, and I think people are smart enough to realise that. So, what did you think? That's the first time you've ever spoke to Zack, isn't it? I mean, like I said, I've known. Obviously, I've known Zack
I think he showed the reason why he became so popular in the beginning is not only because of his physique. He gives himself. He's not a fake guy. It's nothing for the camera.
Yeah.
He tells it how he sees it. And I think that's we need more of, if you agree or not agree with his opinions. But we need more people to tell what they consider their truth is. Because without that, how can we learn?
I mean, always obviously the personal side. I've been friends with Zack for many years, as I've said several times. But he's always been a very, very genuine friend to me. He's been someone that's told me what I maybe didn't want to hear at that time. You know, he's been very honest and upfront. That's basically the thread that runs through Zack.
And I like how educated he is on other topics. You know, with this China thing.
I know, but he's an educated guy. He's got a degree.
What is he? Does he have a degree in? Do you know?
I can't remember, but he's an educator. He went to college, he went to university. He had he had a good job with the working pensions for many years, quite high up in the in the sort of that side of it, like an office job and stuff. He's no dummy. Zack is no dummy.
I wish he came. I wish he could say, I want to do a comeback.
I mean, things with Zack though, I know that he's always kind of big, but he can transform overnight. It's up to Zack.
Do you want to see it, or do you think he's
personally? No, I don't.
You don't?
No, I don't. I think he's. I think what he went through with his legs. I remember, like I said, calling him literally just after he'd done it, and I remember seeing what he went through, and because they botched the operations a couple of times, and it was a hard time. But I remember only once did I call him, and he wasn't positive. He was just really down and that was only one out of maybe 50 times. So that guy went through hell with that. I mean, he was living by himself in a second floor apartment, and literally having to hobble round by himself. And he went through a lot. So it's a testament to him, the fact that I remember speaking to a friend of mine who went to that Dallas show when he took 7th in the 2013 Dallas Europa. And she said when he walked on stage and they introduced him, and she said she saw how amazing he looked, she said she burst into tears. And she said that was kind of like a victory, because he came back, he looked good, he proved himself, which he didn't really have to do. Okay. But I feel like,
he's proven what he...
Yeah, he's proven
nothing to prove.
He wanted to be a British champion. He wanted to be
and he succeeded in that.
And he succeeded after many, many, many years.
You have to wrap it up. Time.
Okay, well, okay, AJ, well...
You got to give some shout-outs at the end now. What do you want to say?
Who are you going to shout-outs to?
No, you got to go first this time.
Okay, let's give some shout-outs to High Tech Pharmaceuticals, obviously, for supporting this podcast. Big thank you to them. Really appreciate the support. Without you guys, this would not be possible.
Correct.
AJ, I want to thank you for coming over from Norway, even though sending me that text this morning saying, Giles, don't freak out, bro.
It's well worth it for this. And especially...
Oh, I thought you meant...
And what will we have for next? Do we say that now?
Let's leave it. Let's leave it for next episode. We can...
I can give them a hint.
Oh, yeah.
Don't say nothing. Let's see if they can see it on the boards. That's the hint. Don't say nothing more, Giles.
Nothing else. Drop the mic.
I want to say just one thing. This has been great. I got to say, in March, we got the Bros to Pros event.
Yep.
I got 3 guys from Norway, from Haraldsgym, that I'm promoting.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes. David Silva.
Yeah.
Marius Pikachu Osmundsen.
Okay.
We're going to bring him in to do Classic in Bros to Pros, the Ben Weider Cup.
Okay.
So we'll be there. Pump Media.
Chris Clark from Punk Media.
You got to follow Giles at Giles Thomas.
Giles_Tiger on Instagram.
AJ Kelly Robert. It's very important. We ain't got no followers. We need more.
Yep. Never have too many of them.
And please, all the guys, stop DMing me. I got all these guys from India DMing me if I want to spend vacation.
What do they want to do?
Great episode, Giles. Great episode. It was a great episode.
Yeah. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, MD. Thank you, High Tech Pharmaceuticals. Thank you, Batman. And we will return
Next week with...
Next week with... Don't say it.
Don't say it. It's a clue.
Don't say it. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting.
Thanks, Zack Khan.
Thank you, obviously, yeah. Thank you, big. Thank you to ZKK.
What a guy. Love the energy.
Yeah, I love. It's always good to catch up with Zach. It's funny because me and him come to lose contact every now and again, and then we'll reconnect. And he's always been a good friend, always been a good guy, always been a real positive, real kind of force of nature. There's only one Zack Khan, so big thank you there to him for being in our 3rd episode. Can you believe we're on our 3rd episode?
Muscular development on the rise, bro.
On the rise.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Okay. We will see you next week for episode 4 of MD Global Muscle Radio. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. And we are out of here.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
MD Global Muscle Radio was brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals, produced by Chris Clark and Pump Media, directed by Giles Thomas. This has been a production of Advanced Research Media.